this is my first time sort of running a stream on that's not run by someone else, although my partner is doing tech, so I don't have to worry about it. But welcome to my Halloween charity stream that's also kind of my celebration for hitting 1,000 followers. It was a while ago, but that was why I wanted to do this in the first place. Um,
Woo!
Today I'll let everyone else go around and introduce yourselves, and then I'll talk for a little bit about the charity that we're doing. For starters, I'm Rue. I use he or they pronouns, and I'll be your GM for this evening. Birdie, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Birdie. I use she or they pronouns, and I will be playing Cressida Crane tonight.
Devin, why don't you go next?
I'm Devin. I go by she, her, and I will be playing Miss Lazarus tonight.
And Alex?
Hi, I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Andromeda Fields tonight.
And last but not least, KJ.
Hey, I'm KJ. I'll be playing Gabriel Fink. He's really cool.
What pronouns do all of your characters use also?
They, them. My bad. Forgot.
They, them for Gabriel.
They, she.
And then Devin, your character's pronouns use
She, her.
And then Birdie?
Cressida is also she, her.
Perfect. Thank you. And your
Rue's volume is kind of low.
Oh, sorry. They can hear you, so
Whoa.
I guess you could plug this in and use this instead. Sorry, again, tech issues. Yeah, it's because it's using the computer and not a microphone. Oh, the USB port's there, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't plug in on there, that's right.
It's not supposed to, yeah. Well, that's going to take a hot second because it's a different mic, but I will try to fix that as soon as I can. In the meantime, I will talk for a little bit about the charity that we're supporting today. So there is a Tiltify link that I'll put in the chat for donations, and we are donating our proceeds from the stream to the Equal Justice Initiative. And the Equal Justice Initiative is a charity that helps fund bail funds and recovery projects for Black, Indigenous, and people of color who have been wrongfully arrested or assaulted by police. They also do education programs for communities who want to get more involved in protecting Black, Indigenous people of color in their communities and protecting them from law enforcement abuse. And so they're a really big charity in really helping to rebuild and restructure communities that have been torn apart by law enforcement and police brutality, as well as doing education programs and outreach. So they're a really cool charity, and that's who we're supporting tonight. I hope my mic is maybe better? Question mark.
I think it looks better.
I also want to start off with saying that this system is a horror system. And so I always start my streams with a content warning about the contents of the statement, so that if anyone needs to take some time away, they don't want to be triggered by the events of the stream, they can take some space and not be here for that. This one in particular deals with dolls. So if you're afraid of dolls, people turning into dolls, that sort of thing, as well as unreality and out-of-body experiences, and sort of a feeling of being unsafe in your home space. So those are the main triggers that today's case will deal with, and if any of those are something that you can't handle, please feel free to step back at any time. I don't want to be harming real people in my little fun horror game. The worst of those bits will come during the statement, which is the opening bit. After the statement, the triggers will pull back a little bit because they won't be as in-depthfully described. But the opening bit, where I will read the statements to our researchers, may be the most trigger-heavy, so I will let you all know when that bit is finished. All right. How about actually before I read this, why don't we come into the office, because this is a new space for all of you players as well. You walk into the ARC Institute, ARCK Institute in Portland. It's a relatively modern building. Uh, you're not sure if it's always been in this building or if they moved into a newer building, so you're not sure if your institute is new or if this is just sort of a remodeled building. But for a historical paranormal society, you're in like a normal office building, just a small one. It's a couple stories high, and then the basement where the archive is. So up above you are like offices for more of the people who just do paperwork or process donations. And then downstairs where you work is the archive and artifact storage, where all of the old case files and research happens, and anything that might be deemed unsafe for the general public or worthy of more research is kept locked in artifact storage. It's sort of a lackadaisical atmosphere of when you can come into work. The doors unlock at 8 o'clock. It seems that no matter what time you get there, the archivist, Carter, is always there. You're not sure they ever leave. But the doors open at 8 o'clock, and you can kind of rustle in whenever you please. So long as you're there by probably about noon. What time does everyone get there?
I probably get there pretty early. Old lady stuff.
Oh, honey, it thinks my mic is a headset and I can't hear. Oh. I'm like, I can't hear anyone for some reason. That's not good.
Oh no. Technical
Change your
difficulties.
sound settings. Yeah? Should be. No.
Well,
Here's the other option. 1 second.
I'll just mute this one.
This is why I have, well, I don't think you can mute that necessarily. Will it mute it for the chat?
I don't know.
Oh god, I'm gonna hear myself in stereo. 1 second. I can't do this. Okay. Maybe? Oh, wait, no, now you can't hear me, huh? Sorry, I'm trying to make this so that I can hear y'all, but you don't hear me. Is that better? Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, now I might be in stereo for the chat. I don't know. We'll find out if I'm in stereo for everyone else. Hopefully not. All right. Sorry. What time does everyone roll into the institute? Fair. Probably like the first, maybe the first one there, unless anyone like camps out. You're there when they unlock the door.
Okay, they can't hear anybody else. We're gonna jump into technical difficulties
Oh,
really quick.
1 second. Sorry, we are having technical difficulties because no one can hear y'all, and it's not just me apparently. Okay, what's up, honey?
And
Hello.
y'all,
Oh, yes.
hello?
Nope.
We're good.
Nope. Oh, voices.
Voices
Cool. We're back.
coming from the
We're
high
back,
hills.
y'all.
Sorry
Woo!
about that. Yeah, this is a first time doing this, and it's quite obvious.
It's Google Meets.
All right, it is.
We're
Google
doing
Meets,
our
all right.
best.
All right.
Fuck Google.
So Lilith is there when they unlock the doors. Miss
Yes.
Lazarus is ready to go to work.
I am.
Maybe we can describe our characters physically a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I want to
So
read these.
one of
Harder when you get inside.
Yeah. So one of the two most apparent features that you'll see when you look at Lazarus is that one, her skin is a very ghostly pale, and she walks in, very heavily contrasting with just the very dark black clothing that she wears. And that one of her eyes is an icy blue as opposed to the other one, which is just kind of a hazelnut color.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. She dresses in all black, very traditional Jewish woman clothing. Just long sleeve shirt, long dress, and a what is called a tetchel over her hair.
Nice.
She walks. She's waiting there patiently with like a little handbag that she carries important things in.
Yeah.
Says, "Whoever comes and unlocks the door comes."
The office folks unlock the door. The people who work in the upstairs building. So they'll unlock the door to let you in, so that you can walk down to the basement. And when you arrive, Carter is already there. They're sitting at their desk reading. Carter is, you can't tell because they're sitting, but they're a medium height person with very thick, curly, long, dark hair. They've pulled back into an extremely messy bun. And they just kind of always look a little bit like a mess, possibly because they sleep in the archive sometimes. But they're just a bit of a mess. But they are happy to see you, and they smile when you walk in, and they let you know. Oh, we'll be having a meeting today once everyone gets here, just so you know.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carter. All right, head over to my workspace.
All right, who gets here next?
So Gabriel's gonna stroll in at about 9:15. He's about 5'6.5", brown skin, brown eyes, dark kind of short hair. You can't really tell if it's brown in the light or if it's just gonna be black. Medium build. Just the
I
most
hit
average
dog.
man you've ever
Sorry.
seen.
It's okay.
He's wearing a white shirt, a white button up shirt with navy pants and dark shoes, and he just strolls in like he owns the place and just walks.
Hello, Gabriel.
I look at him and keep walking.
Fair enough. Andromeda and Cressida, do you not come to work?
Cressida will walk in at exactly 10:07 a.m. She is wearing a clear PVC holographic pink crop top and skirt set. Underneath it is a shiny silver leotard with a turtleneck and no sleeves, giant pink platform boots, and a lime green bob. She kind of hurts to look at. And it is a good thing that she didn't come in any earlier, because then she really would have hurt to look at.
I love her.
Thank you.
Is she accepting friend applications?
Oh, she is accepting all sorts of applications.
Okay.
Nice. And how's Andromeda doing? Just having to follow after you?
Sorry.
It's okay. I love Andromeda walks in like 11:10. Their hair is sort of in a short, curly, dark mess, and they have dark skin. That's descriptive. They have sort of brown skin, and they walk in like a giant sweater and like corduroys and nice man shoes. Like
The shoes that nice men wear.
Yes, exactly. Like dress
They're
shoes.
pretty.
I know what that means.
Yes.
I have an
Nice,
image in my head.
like dark green corduroys and like shiny brown dress shoes and just like a giant sweater. And they rush in with hot chocolate in their hand, and I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I overslept. I should have gotten here earlier. I had some work to do. I'm sorry, Carter.
No, it's fine. I was waiting for everyone to get here anyway.
I'm the last person here, aren't I?
It's no problem. It's alright.
It's
By some
every
point
day.
of view, technically, you're the first person here for tomorrow.
What?
Is that true if I never leave? Or am
Technically, you're very late to come.
I'm late to my first day of work by a long shot. I've been here for too long.
Oh, you were fine for your first day of work. You've just been late for every subsequent one.
What?
Well, I mean, I
Keep
suppose
up.
you're not wrong.
You're
I've
never
never
wrong.
left, so I've never gotten here. That's not true. I go home sometimes.
Just pats Andromeda on the shoulder and takes a hot cocoa and says, "Wait,
Takes her hot chocolate.
I thought you got them for everybody, but you know what? Let's roll with it."
That's Cressida's now.
This is Cressida's world. We are all just living in it.
Okay. Because
I'm sorry.
all right, fine.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We have some powdered cocoa in the break room if you want some. I can make you some later.
It's fine. It's not the same.
Oh, that's
They make it
fair.
really nice at this place.
Oh,
It's fine.
I'm very sorry. Well, I suppose on that note, would we like to gather for our meeting? There's a statement that I think needs addressing.
All right.
An aside. This is the part that's going to be quite triggering by way of, like, weird unreality stuff. So if that's a little much for anyone, feel free to take a step back until I'm done reading. Alright. Statement of Zaura Abdul regarding a music box that was left on her doorstep 7 separate times. I moved to Portland a couple of years ago for work. The office I work with does a lot of event management, securing venues, arranging catering, that sort of thing. Degrees in hospitality do that for you. I picked a ground floor apartment for a variety of reasons. It's easier to get home, I don't have to worry about if the elevator is working or not, and if something happens I have a quick way out of the building, among other factors. The only real downsides are hearing people walking around above me and when a car drives down the street too loudly. I can handle that. A couple of my neighbours have children, so I'm also pretty used to hearing them run around. They go down to the park together and walk back from school. It's part of a normal routine for me. About 2 weeks ago, when I got home from work, I noticed a music box outside of my front door. I didn't think anything of it, presuming one of the children dropped it on their way home. Locking the door behind me, I went about my evening as normal and forgot about the box. As I settled into bed, I heard a ringing in my ears. I tried adjusting my earplugs, shifting from side to side, covering my ears with a pillow. Nothing seemed to dull the sound. I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep with that, so I got up, figured I'd look around, see if I could find the source. Once I was out of my bedroom and closer to the door, the sound shifted, or maybe I could just hear it better? I'm not sure now. Either way, I could distinctly tell it was music, a melody, played tinny and soft, not unlike the sound a music box would play. Sighing, thinking that perhaps the kids were playing some sort of prank, I walked to my door and looked out the peephole. Seeing nobody, I opened the door, and sure enough, there was the music box, open and playing. It was a lovely little box, really, purple wood inlaid with enamel. When opened, it revealed a purple velvet interior with a little ballerina who spun in circles. I crouched down, watching it for a while. I don't really remember how long I stood there. The next thing I remember is one of my neighbours coming home from a bar. It might have been well after midnight. The time just slipped away from me. I was still fairly certain that one of the kids had left the box, so I closed it, picked it up, and carried it over to the mailboxes, setting it on the table in front of them. Someone would surely see it and claim it. All through my dreams that night I could hear that song, and see the ballerina dancing in the corners of my vision. The box wasn't there when I left for work in the morning, so I assumed the rightful owner picked it up and took it home. Forgetting about it, I went about my day, business as usual, and when I came home, the box was still nowhere to be seen. I assumed that was the end of it. My assumption was, unfortunately, wrong. The dreams continued, music playing as the ceramic ballerina spun in my mind's eye. Louder and faster, getting closer, until the ballerina's head turned on its own. Oh! What happened? Is everyone's camera still there for you?
Yes.
Cool! They're not for me, but that's fine.
That's the ballerina.
Louder and faster, getting closer, until the ballerina's head turned on its own, independent of the spinning, and stared me dead in the eye, a smile on her face. I haven't been able to sleep much since. Every night it's exactly the same. But that's not the reason I'm here, not the reason I finally decided to come talk to you. I think the music box is haunting me. The day after my day of not seeing it, it was on my coffee table. I walked out in the morning to make breakfast, and it was there, open and playing its earworm song. Not wanting to get caught in a loop again, I closed it immediately and took it back to the table out in the hallway, along with a note that stated I would be contacting the authorities if anyone broke into my apartment again. I really hoped that would be the end of it. I really hoped whoever was playing that prank on me would get spooked and take their music box elsewhere. Silly of me, really. It keeps coming back. Every time I get rid of it, whether it's putting it on the table, throwing it in my apartment's dumpster, or smashing it on the stones outside, it somehow finds its way back into my apartment. And I keep losing more and more time. It's so difficult to close it these days. The music is so captivating. I just want to keep listening. I don't know if I'll be able to dispose of it again. No, I don't know if I'll want to. Statement ends. She called it in recently.
All right.
Talk about your Phantom of the Opera, huh?
Rude way to treat a new roommate.
I don't
Well-
know that it's a roommate.
I think that's the ballerina's decision.
I think the first thing we should do is check on her. I mean,
With
If
any
she-
luck, she's playing it right now.
We
all
should
right.
check on her, yeah.
Yeah.
We have her phone number if someone wants to call her.
I'll do that once we get out of the meeting, or if anyone else wants to take it.
Do you think if we ask, she'll let us borrow the music box?
Maybe.
I mean, it sounds like she wants to get rid of it.
Maybe she'll just give it to us. That
For
would make
free.
our job
I
That'll
particularly
make it
easy.
very easy.
don't think it'll let her, but we can certainly try. Kind of want to know what happens if we do.
I kind of want to hear the music.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Bet it would make a good TikTok audio.
Can you record your own audio for TikTok?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like my whole thing.
I'll be honest, I don't really know how TikTok works. I just support you in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, me neither, Carter.
It's cult-esque, but it's mostly for a joke. Right?
We're just having fun. Anyway, not about me. This is about the music box.
Um,
Well, if we do get a hold of it and it's not deadly, you can record it before we put it in artifact storage.
all right.
If it's deadly, we're going to put it directly into artifact storage.
I think it
Sounds
would
like
be
a good idea.
experiment to see if it's deadly over digital formats too. But if you don't want to do that research, I respect your restraint.
Oh, no, I think you're right. I just don't want to have to deal with the paperwork if someone dies on TikTok and calls the Institute.
Great.
If you don't die in real life, if you die in TikTok, it's okay.
That's good to know. You get the sense very
don't-
distinctly that Carter isn't that much older than you, but they don't spend very much time like with computers. They don't have one at their desk. They just don't use them very often.
Yeah. You have not seen Cressida go more than like 15-minute chunks of time at a time without checking her phone.
Me too, Chris.
Like, you wonder sometimes if she just like sleeps with it under her pillow. The
I don't
answer is
wonder.
yes.
I know.
Miss Lazarus is aware. But yeah, you do have the number of the. So when people give statements, they leave like a little bit of personal information so that you can get a hold of them. So you have her phone number and her address of the person who left this statement.
I think I'll call her and I'll put her on speakerphone.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You can dial a phone pretty effectively without rolling.
Dial a phone.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know.
I
If you're
don't
asking Miss
know.
Lazarus to do it, I might need a roll.
If you asked Carter to do anything particularly tech savvy, they'd have to roll, but they don't do that. That's out of their wheelhouse. But yeah, you call the phone number that's there, and it rings, and rings, and rings, and then you hit a voicemail box. It says, "Hello, you've reached Zaura. Sorry I couldn't reach the phone. Please leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can."
Hi, Zara. My name is Andromeda Fields. I'm a researcher for the ARC Institute. I'm calling about your statement that you gave on in July, I believe, about the music box. We are doing some additional research into your case, and just call me back as soon as possible. Thank you. And they hang up the phone and sigh and say, "All right, who's going with me to the apartment?"
Oh, good idea if we all go.
House call.
I'll stay here in case you all need anything.
Of course.
Again, you're not sure Carter ever leaves the Institute. You have not seen proof of it.
Have fun at your desk.
Did she leave her address?
Yes.
Okay.
So you are welcome to take your preferred form of transportation to her apartment complex. What is your preferred method of transportation? Do you like to use the company car, or do you like to take your own?
Can any of us drive?
Can any?
There's
Yeah.
a company car?
If needed, Lazarus can drive.
Is Miss Lazarus legally allowed to drive?
Miss Lazarus is like in her 50s.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what you meant when you said old man, old woman. I was thinking you meant like old.
Cressida can. The question is, Cressida should?
I feel like Cressida would use a hoverboard just to
if
get
Cressida
everywhere.
if Cressida is driving, Miss Lazarus will refuse to get into the vehicle.
All right, so let's let Miss Lazarus drive.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, Miss Lazarus takes the wheel effectively and drives you to. It takes about 15 minutes. It's not like super far away. To an apartment complex that is, in all ways, kind of nondescript. It's square, so you enter the apartment complex and there's like a little like courtyard park on the inside, and then the apartments themselves are around the outside
Hmm.
in like a 2-story structure.
That's nice.
Should we draw straws on who goes first?
I'll go if none of you want to.
I have a bad
No
feeling.
straws necessary.
Without like saying anything, I'm just gonna like step out of the car, close it, lock the door, walk over to the room. Do we have like
the car?
huh? No, I'm not locking you all in the car. I'm locking the
I thought you locked them all in the car.
It pretty much sounded like you were locking me in the car.
Lord.
You know, that's I'm not gonna, but that's probably a good idea.
Bright colors are not a crime, Miss Lazarus.
I'm not
You could-
saying
You could
they
do with a
are.
little zhuzhing.
I'm not saying they are bad. I'm saying we're dealing with someone who's having some issues, and bright colors immediately probably isn't the best idea.
I will not dull my sparkle.
I'm not asking you to. Anyways, yeah, I walk up to the door, give a
Are-
good knock.
Are any of you not going up to the door? Just for reference.
Go ahead.
I think Andromeda's gonna stay behind and guard the car,
Okay.
just
in case.
in case.
Yeah.
Andromeda, from your perspective, essentially, you're parked next to like the little courtyard park, and they've walked into the apartment complex and are like looking for her door.
Gotcha.
And you can see that there are kids playing on the little playground structure that's at the apartment complex. In case you are wondering, there are other people that live here.
Ew. Cool.
But yeah, so you go up and knock on the door, and you wait a little bit, and no one answers. It's
Hey,
pretty quiet. Like, you don't hear someone like walking towards the door.
hey, Cressida, you think you know how to pick a lock?
Doors. Oh, I have a move for this.
Do you have the...
Give me just a. Let me try something. And she just walks up and attempts to open the door.
I don't
Which
think you have to
is-
roll for that, right? I think that's just a move.
It's just a thing
Yeah,
you do.
yeah. No, I can just no. Any standard door, locked or not, is open to you. So she just. Gosh, I don't know what you're talking about. Just got to open it.
Yeah, from the outside perspective, Cressida has walked up to a door that apparently just wasn't locked and just opened it inwards as if she had the key already ready.
It's like I belong here.
Or there's an issue and just didn't lock the door.
So, when you enter the apartment, it's relatively simple. It's not a particularly large apartment. It has a living room that's sort of connected to the kitchen area, and then a little hallway with 2 doors, which you can presume are probably a bathroom and a bedroom on either side of the little hall. And it looks very lived in. Like it does genuinely look that like she does live here. Like there are coats hanging and pillows on the couches and things like that. Like it's a very warm and lived in apartment. But the most important factor of this apartment, one second, I'm on the wrong computer, so I'm getting the music for you, but I have to wait for it to load on this computer because I opened it on the one upstairs like a fool.
Fool.
I'm a fool. There is an open music box, and it matches the description that you were given. It's a purple, like wood stained box with enamel inlays, and it's open. And the ballerina is spinning in slow circles. I wish this would open for me. I wish this was not being mean to me in particular. Let me see if I can open it over here. Maybe not.
Technology said, screw this stream in particular.
Really? I don't know why.
Really just said no. I'm gonna get banned for dabbing on stream now.
Are you dabbing on stream? I might give you a -1 forward. I'm kidding.
Cressida is going to take out her phone and just try to record the audio that is coming from the music box.
Cool. One second. I think I can get it open on this computer. Yeah.
I believe in you.
Andromeda gets a bad feeling and just blocks Cress on TikTok. Just in case.
I'm going to just take a moment. Is it? And just kind of just
I can hear it,
close.
they can't. So can you give me the link that I just yep, and then can you put it in the chat? Because there's no way for me to broadcast my sound to you.
Oh, into
Dang.
the stream chat, you mean?
Oh.
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
stream can hear it, my players can't.
Well,
So this
We'll just pretend.
music begins to play, and you can hear it very clearly no matter where you're standing in the room. If you want to lower the volume a little, just a tad for me. Thank you. So I can hear myself think mostly. And no matter where you are, like, it's mostly once you enter the room, so if you're still in the hallway, you can't quite hear it, but once you step into the room, it's very clear and very obvious, almost as if it's playing right in your ears no matter where you're standing. And the little ballerina is just twirling in time with it. And you have your phone to record it, you said, Cressida?
Yeah.
just
Are you, like, what are you recording it with?
Right now she's just recording it like as a voice memo.
Okay.
She does intend to film a video with it, but is not quite doing that yet.
Okay, sounds good. It is recording. You know that much.
Okay.
Anyone who are you Miss Lazarus? Are you gonna try to close it?
yeah.
I need you to.
I'm like, that's not a good idea.
I need you to make a power roll.
Oh, power. All right. 6.
Ooh, that's a fail. Mark experience. I don't know that we're gonna level up during the stream, but you can mark experience. So
Something I see for one shot sometime is leveling up at 3 experience instead of 5.
oh yeah, I'm fine with that. If we want to level up at 3, that's totally
All right.
Oh, sorry, I got a moment from this. But yeah, so you, Miss Lazarus, your first thought is, oh, this is bad, and I want to close this. So you walk up to it as if you're going to close it. But the closer that you get to it, the more you listen to it, and you're like, you know, I really like this. It's very soothing, and it almost feels like listening to it is. Oh, you can pause that. No, it's good. Listening to it and like being closer to it makes you feel very at peace, almost like you're experiencing it from an external perspective, and your body is there listening to the music, but you're just sort of like floating above it in like a very peaceful space. And you are staring into this music box, and you are frozen. You cannot move it. You would not close it even if you could. From an outside perspective, Miss Lazarus has just approached the music box and just staring into it.
So Gabriel sees this and he's going to try and cover his ears and shout over the music, "Hey guys, if the music box is here, why don't we try to find Zara? Maybe she's still here." But I'm also covering my ears, so I don't know if I can hear them respond. And also just walk to the closed bathroom door and try to open it.
You cover
I'll
your
stay
ears,
with Miss.
and you do still hear the music just as loud. The rest of them are muffled, but the music is almost like playing in your ears. Sorry,
Terrifying.
Cressida, I didn't mean to.
I'll stay with Miss Lazarus. No. I'll stay with Miss Lazarus. Make sure she's okay.
All right.
Oh
Are you
boy.
getting any closer to it, Cressida? Or are you just...
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you do, so I can have you roll. Because once you get to a certain closeness, essentially, it is louder.
Okay, so if I go and try to open the bathroom door, would I have to roll?
No, they're unlocked.
Okay.
If you
I just
twist-
open it.
If you twist
Don't
both,
need the Cressida key.
yeah, if you twist both the doorknobs, those are both unlocked. Anyone who isn't Cressida opening the front door would have required some rolling, but Cressida has a special ability that allows her to open doors. But yeah, so if you open the bathroom door,
There's nowhere you can go that Cressida can't enter.
Oh, wow.
That was mildly threatening.
It's a simple statement of fact.
But yeah, the bathroom is sort of like what you'd expect in like a middle grade apartment. So it's got one of those like kind of shitty shower bath combinations with the glass sliding door that you can't actually take a bath in, so there's no point in having a bathtub. And then like a sink and cabinets. And like in the cabinets above, like the mirror is a cabinet essentially, so like it's got like stuff in it. If you want to investigate a little deeper in either the bathroom or the bedroom, you can roll thought for me.
All right. Whoop.
One for each. So if you want to investigate both rooms, it would be 2 rolls.
All right. Let's see. That is a 3.
Oof, mark experience.
Okay.
On the plus side, when you like roll poorly to look for things, you just don't see things. So it's not like you attempt to see something and then die. But yeah, so you look around.
I mean, it's an option.
You look around in the bathroom and nothing seems to catch your eye. It's a very standard bathroom. You don't think there's anything particularly odd here. There's no sign that there was any kind of struggle, certainly. It's just a really simple bathroom.
Oh, it's nice.
And then
Can I go and... Yeah, I'm going to go and try and do the bedroom, hopefully. Yeah. Maybe.
Her bedroom is well kept. Like, her bed is made and everything is pretty nicely in order. But yeah, for a deeper check.
Oh, so I should roll again?
Yeah. So you
Cool.
So there's a possibility that you won't fail this one.
8.
8. Okay. So that's a partial success, so you don't see everything, but you see quite a bit more than what you saw in a failure.
Awesome.
You walk around the room a couple times, sort of like to familiarize yourself with the space. Her apartment was like seems very lived in. You notice when you walk through the front, but it doesn't seem like she slept in her bed in a couple of days. Like the bed is made, but like you know when blankets are in one space for a long time, they get kind of creases in them. They seem to have creased where she's tucked them into the bed, so it seems as if no one has slept in the bed in at least a couple of days.
Interesting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and not bother plugging my ears, but go back and stand maybe like right behind Cressida and be like, "Hey guys, it seems like she might not have been here for a while because her bed doesn't look like it's been slept in at all.
Can I have done something while she was
Yeah.
gone?
Absolutely. What would Cressida like to do?
Cressida would like to first she's gonna check on her recording and see like does it sound normal or does it sound like a glitched out
It
mess?
sounds like a glitched out mess. Like you
Okay,
try
she's
to
gonna
play it back and it like crunches
She's
and
gonna
cracks.
do this anyway. She just wants to know what type of audio she's dealing with.
Okay.
So she is going to film herself with she's gonna approach it, which I think I need to roll for.
You have to roll power.
Okay. Well, I have a +2 in power.
Ooh.
So
Oh, only slightly better than my +1.
but I rolled a 3.
No! Oh, no!
You're really just gonna.
We can't make TikToks from hell, can we?
I mean, theoretically, you could make TikToks from hell, just not well. You're sort of like really set on your idea of making a haunted TikTok, and so you're like,
I really am.
I don't need to worry about this. I don't need to like be careful in any way. And you walk up to the box as if you're just gonna be able to pick it up and start filming it, and like you get almost like close enough to touch it, and then you begin watching the motion of the ballerina and getting caught
I could spend a humanity
I mean,
to succeed.
Oh, you could. That's fair. This is a one-shot. No one's stopping
Let's
you from just
do it!
wrecking
We're
you.
going full monster for the sake of TikTok.
Oh, God.
This is powerful.
Cressida terrifies me.
All right.
Good!
As
Yeah, no,
she
I'm
should.
gonna take down one of my humanity, which takes me down to 4.
Perfect.
So I don't get the fun moves
Not
yet, but
You're close.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
yeah, so I can kind of feel myself getting trapped into the motions of this ballerina. And then I sort of like think about what it can do for me and think about what it can do for my God. And there's almost this feeling of like something backing off. So I pulled in a little eldritch help just now.
Yeah.
And I am gonna hold up the music box. I'm touching it, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't touch it. Maybe instead I'm just gonna like get on the ground in front of it. We learned something about touching haunted objects recently. Have you ever considered what it is to spin? By the laws of physics, standing is simply pushing the ground down underneath you. To jump is just truncated flying. When you spin, it's almost like you're pulling the earth along with you. And what is the rotations of gravity, if not hundreds of people spinning through their lives, unending, undisturbed? Spin with me. And that's her little TikTok speech.
Does TikTok like play it back for you to show it to you? This
It
is
does.
me revealing
Yeah.
to
Yes,
the
it
audience
does.
that I don't know how TikTok
Okay,
works.
I have made one TikTok in my life, but yes, it does. What it's going to happen on her screen is it's going to take her into this little menu where she can like edit the film.
Cool.
Edit. I called it a film, so I clearly don't make many of them
It's a
either.
film. You've made a film.
I've made a film.
Yeah, so you go to Cressida goes to open her like the editing software or whatever.
Yeah.
And it looks as if you've already put about 7 new sexy glitch filters on the filming.
Oh, she's delighted because that saves her a lot of time putting glitch filters on her video.
Done editing for you. The music box has just broken the visuals.
Yeah, no. Thank you.
The audio is also extremely distorted. Like
Yeah.
You
Well,
like,
she's gonna include closed captions. We are an accessible Eldritch TikTok.
I love accessible Eldritch TikTok. I want to follow Cressida on TikTok.
You should. I think you'd learn a lot. It's very educational.
But yeah, so if it weren't for the captions, no one would be able to really tell what you're saying. The occasional
Yeah.
word cuts in and out, like very
Spinning
choice words like spinning and like humans occasionally glitch through and you can hear them. But for the most part, it's a lot of garbled crackles and sound that so like it follows the beat of the music box. Like you like if you were to re-listen to it a couple times, you could definitely follow the musical through line, but you can't actually hear the music. It's just a bunch of glitches.
Something that you can do on this app, I think, if someone actually knows how it works, don't at me, is basically dub over audio you've already taken. So she might go back in and like re-whisper the speech, so it's like over the garbled audio.
Ooh, production
but-
quality.
Oh yes, she takes this very seriously.
Does she make more from TikTok than her actual job?
She makes obscene amounts of money from TikTok. She is only here for a laugh. Like,
I'm happy for her. Good
for,
for her.
like, unfortunate amounts of money from TikTok.
She's sponsored.
There might be a Patreon involved. There's layers.
No.
This is my Eldritch Patreon.
Yeah, Eldritch fans actually. Anyway.
Oh, Eldritch
I'll let other
fans. I love that for her. But yeah, then I guess.
So I think you probably come back in with Cressida like on the floor.
Filming a TikTok with this haunted music box.
Yes.
Can I look around for something like a broom or like a yardstick somewhere around? Maybe like an umbrella?
Yeah. You want to roll thought
Fear?
to see if you can find a stick?
Yeah. Five.
Mark experience.
We're getting those levels.
Y'all are gonna level up immediately.
Yeah.
You still marked your experience, right, for when you used your luck
Oh,
point?
I didn't realize I got to do that.
Yeah, you still get to
Nice.
because it cost you something. It cost you that humanity point. You still get to mark experience.
Sweet.
There doesn't seem to be like a yardstick or an umbrella in here. The closest you can kind of get is like a ladle or some tongs from the kitchen. Like you open all the kitchen drawers, and so the longest thing you can find in here is some sort of like ladle or like kitchen tongs, or maybe like one of those really long weird forks that you stab meat with.
Cool.
Use the tongs, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and get the tongs, and I'm gonna try and approach the music box, but use my entire length of my arm to try and knock it off of the table to see if it'll like fall
Okay.
and like close or something.
When you go to sort of like touch it or move it, I'm gonna need you to make a power roll as it tries to stop you from doing that, essentially. Every once in a while,
11.
Google Meets turns all of my cameras off at once, and I look in fear at the overlay, worrying that it all comes out
11?
An 11.
11,
Good
yeah.
job. That's a total success.
Yes.
So you masterfully sort of like, I guess you're like reaching over Cressida because Cressida's on the floor next to the box, and sort of as Cressida is like looking through her video and like tutting approvingly at how beautiful the glitch features look, you like grab it
This
with
is
the
art.
tongs and like shink it off the table, and it plunk 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 plunks across the floor. It doesn't close, but it does, like, you can move it. It is knocked over. It's just now.
Am I out of my
sort
trance?
Yes. So when
Cool.
it's no longer like in your line of sight and you've moved away from it, you sort of you've lost all sense of time. You have like you could have been standing here for 2 minutes or 6 hours, and it would have felt the same to you. But for like once the music box sort of plonks across the floor, and for a second the sound stops before restarting, you can like shake back into your body, and you're like back in yourself.
That was unpleasant.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love that thing.
Do you think we could hockey puck it back to the institute to see to see if we can do something with it?
This is the best solution I've had for this case.
Hockey bucket.
We could.
That might be a good
Well,
idea.
we could hockey puck it to the car. We'd have to get it in the car somehow.
You think we could like
We could
tie a string and like attach it to the car?
Just drag
With a
it behind
ladle.
the car. Like
Yeah.
How are we
Ladle.
going to
Like
tie the
hands.
string?
I'll do it. What? I'm
Okay.
not afraid of. I'm not afraid of music box.
That's good.
I'm not the most observational, so what if anyone but me tries to find the string, and I'll keep the music box company, make sure it doesn't disappear anywhere.
Are you guys looking for something to sort of secure the box
Yeah.
in?
I think we're looking for something to tie to the box.
I mean,
Um.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just get some string. It's not hiding from us.
I mean, there's not like string, so to speak. Like you don't find like a ball of cat yarn. That would be
Does
weird.
Does anybody have a shoelace?
I look down at my flat tops.
I
look
look down at my like dolls kill ginormous
Oh no.
vinyl platform boots.
I take off my very sensible shoes with their very sensible laces and hand them to you in the most begrudging way possible and say, I guess I'll just be barefoot then.
You take off
We're just
both your
driving
shoes.
home. We only needed one. But thank you. That was very kind of you.
A TikTok
guess
star
I'm-
stole my shoes, not clickbait. So are you?
You can just do it with her. Yeah, I'm gonna try to tie the shoes to the
Are you leaving
to
it
the
open?
thingy. Didn't it? I assumed it closed when it got knocked off the table.
No, it's been
Oh,
knocked
okay.
over, but it's not closed.
Okay, in that case, I think I'm probably gonna have the best luck tying it if I tie it when it's open and then shut it. Is kind of my thought.
Here are those
So
emoji. Yes. Exodia emojis.
Oh yeah, there's Exodia emojis in the Twitch chat. It's very sick.
Wonderful.
I don't know what those emojis are.
Like the pieces of the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Thank God.
Um,
So I'm gonna try to tie some string to
yeah,
it.
I'm gonna have you roll power because you're gonna have to touch it.
I figured. Got my dice handy. Maybe I'll roll better than a 3 this time.
God willing, or else I guess you could just go full, full.
Go full monster. I mean, I did what I needed to do, so if I get sucked into the music box, y'all are on your own.
Oh.
Not necessary, that's a 9.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
It takes you a
No
little bit.
zapping.
It takes you a little bit, and it's like mentally exhausting because you can sort of feel this music box trying to stop you the entire way. It's a little bit like getting a headache behind your eyes.
I'm gonna like stroke the top of it, like, I'm sorry. It's okay.
You
Feel-
speak lovingly to the music box.
I do. I love this thing. I want to keep it. If you don't lock it up in the archive storage, I'm taking it home with me. It's like the video editor that I don't need to pay.
I love that for you. But you are finally able to sort of. It takes you a little bit of time while your coworkers watch as you kind of just like stroke the music box, but you do manage to get the string tied
Oy
around
vey.
it and then coax it closed. And with it closed, the music stops, and the weird sort of overpowering draw that you all felt towards it fades away. It seems to be a lot. The room is a lot more open. It feels a lot less sort of like focused on this box with it closed. Would you like to examine it, or are you just gonna put it in the car?
Yeah, fuck
I'm
yeah,
team
let's
put it in
examine
the car. Oh, all right.
I mean, do any of you want to examine it?
That was the most like unpleasant experience of my life, and I wish I didn't have ears.
You clearly
Yeah.
haven't been working there very long, have you?
No.
We get to all sorts of fun at the Art Institute.
Ooh, and by fun, she means headaches.
Yeah, you've all got at least a little bit of a headache, I would say. Miss Lazarus's is the worst, by far. But you've all got a
Cressida
little
just
bit of a
always.
headache.
I think Cressida just always has a little bit of a headache. Like, just because of who she is as a person.
I think it's because she looks at glitch photos on TikTok all day. Me a headache.
I feel like I've been rolling a lot, but if somebody else wants to investigate it, please go for it. But I think somebody should investigate the box.
I'll try.
Go ahead.
Yeah. With it closed, you can hold it and touch it, no problem. It's not like a
I'll
power
even
roll to touch
hold it up. Hold it up for you.
I'll try my hand at investigating it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll thought for me.
You've got to get your feet wet somehow, and a little music box isn't going to hurt you now that it's closed.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. Yeah. I love the in character. Good job for what you rolled.
Kristen knows all.
Kristen knows what you rolled on your dice. You reach out and take the box from Cressida and turn it over and look around. From the outside, at least, it doesn't seem like there's anything sort of unusual. It's just a music box. And it doesn't seem like there's anything, like, sharp or dangerous about the outsides in any way. It's just a purple music box with the, like a really pretty pearlescent design on the top. And then on the bottom is, branded into the wood with, like, a gold burned brand. Solansky's Toy Emporium.
You telling me you figured out where we can find more of these?
Do they come in different colors? Can I get them in new filters?
Get my gay little hands all over this toy emporium.
Honestly, for once, I say we try and look up the Toy Emporium, see if it exists somewhere.
Okay. Are we in the car?
I think you can all take the box back to the car. You don't have to
we're
tie
gonna
it
go
to the back of the car. It's tame while it's closed, so you don't have to tie it to the car if you want to.
Drag it along like a pet rock.
What you'll find?
I need a friend.
Is Miss Lazarus in driving condition?
Yeah, I don't know. Is she?
She's
I mean,
fine.
she's not like hurt. It's kind of like driving when you've got a headache. So she's probably like not driving as like fast as she normally would. But you can drive.
No,
with a
that's
headache.
fair.
Okay, I've
Driving
never
even
driven
more like an
before.
old lady.
And she's like, I made a friend, and she's gonna show you the video, which looks like all of her other videos. She goes, but I didn't do that. It did that.
That's awful.
Isn't it?
That's awful. Cress, you're telling me that you didn't spend like 2 hours on this TikTok video fucking up everything.
No, it's fucked up all by itself. Do you know how much time this could save me?
We're gonna need to look this in archive storage, probably. Did you find who we're looking for? Is there any trace
no,
of
the
her?
person is missing. Probably in the music box, honestly. That would be my guess.
Great.
But
There's probably
we
Gabriel.
did find where we could find more cursed toys.
Because we need more of that.
If we can find the source, we can find the lady, maybe.
Oh, she's in the music box.
That's fine.
Miss Lazarus, while you were off exploring the music box, you didn't see anybody else, did you?
No,
Shame.
sadly.
How was it?
Oh, it was nice until it started to become painful, as most things.
Sounds familiar.
Are you guys going back to the institute? Where are you going?
Yeah, probably back
We
to
should-
the institute.
Yeah, probably for
Yeah.
research.
Institute, yeah.
As you guys are heading back to the institute, would you like to take a quick break? So you can grab water
Sure.
and food or go to the bathroom. or
Like
whatever?
in real life.
Yes, like in
Sure.
human life. Sorry, a human life, like
Wait,
quick
what?
5-ish minute break.
No, I think
Yeah.
Miss Lazarus already needs a break.
Miss Lazarus can take a break in the web space as well.
Cresta's having a time of her life. I don't know what y'all are on about.
All right, so we'll see you all in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna hit this over here. 1 second. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Hey, we reached the goal.
Okay, good.
Nice.
I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back.
I hope I'm not being
Oh,
too
God
much
damn.
or like pulling focus or anything. I'm just really having fun being a wacko for
Huh?
once.
No, your character's wonderful, and I love the contrast of yours and mine. It's just the explosion of neon rainbows versus old lady in all black. Just like, oh.
I enjoy that both.
Yeah, I love how.
I was like, I love Maria. She's a sweetheart. But if I'm gonna play this game again, I want to be weird. I want to be the weird one. I don't want to be the straight man. I want to go batshit.
Yes.
I also love that both of that the Haven game also has an old lady that's done with this
us so that we weren't talking over the folks again. Alright, there we go. Now we should be all audible, hopefully. Also, we did some tech stuff during
Test.
lunch break to fix my microphone so that it wouldn't be quite so quiet
Oop.
for everyone.
Oof.
So...
Oh no.
Oh, what happened?
We're cursed. We're cursed.
Dead.
We're
Oh.
actually
Wait, what happened?
cursed. You froze.
You froze.
You froze right as you talked about the tech issues.
Oh. Am I back?
It's not for you.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The shade we're giving you.
Oof. But yeah, so hopefully that fixed some of the mic things. I wanted to announce really importantly that we passed our first donation goal. We made over $100 for the Equal Justice Initiative. So thank you all so much, and I'm really excited, and I'm gonna go through the donations and like personally thank people at the end. And I'm also going to like do the raffling of prizes later this week. But yeah, thank you so much, and it makes me so happy to hit the first goal because I didn't think we were going to. So I'm really happy to donate the $100 to the Equal Justice Initiative, and possibly more if we get further donations today.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
$1.
$101. I'm sorry, we have
Woo.
$1 over, which is very exciting. But yeah, so you have all piled into the car with Cressida's new best friend and video editor. And you can head back to the Institute to do some research if you so please. Are you petting it like a cat?
Yeah. It's object work, improv, guys. We mime things with our hands.
I'm imagining Cressida sitting in the back seat, petting it, and Andromeda is just pressed up against the other side of the car. Like, what is he on?
Andromeda, you must be new here.
Yeah, I just oh god. I just graduated. Fuck.
I just graduate. Fuck.
I mean, mood.
Let me eat my crackers.
No.
Yeah, I just graduated uni. Is she okay?
I
No.
can hear you.
I don't think anyone who TikToks that much is okay.
Fair enough.
You just aren't ready to open your mind.
I'm plenty open, thank you very much.
There are millions of cranies out there that are completely enlightened by my words. It's not my fault if you don't understand them yet.
This is why I blocked you.
You know, next time I'm just gonna take the bus.
Wait,
No,
what
next
did you
time
say?
she's going to take the bus.
I could have driven.
No.
No.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
The previous incident is not reflective of my overall driving abilities. We've been over this.
Are you sure you
Okay.
passed the driving test? Did they like hand you the license, or did they hand
She,
you a
like,
paper?
Shows
Saying,
you the
"Oh."
driver's license. Her hair is neon orange with like stars like dyed into it. And she is wearing like heart-shaped sunglasses. You're not allowed to wear sunglasses during the picture, and yet she is. The power of Cressida.
This explains why Portland drivers are so bad, and I just push it away and mind my own business.
Someone
I-
needs
Okay,
to
I regret
write.
moving here a few
Portland
years
drivers
ago.
are bad because they obey the speed limit, which is just fucked up and wrong.
It's very different in Jersey, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Portland drivers
Jersey.
are bad because
Jersey.
all the streets are one way and no one cares.
Oh, that's
Anything's a two-way street if you try hard enough.
If your car is small enough, fuck it. And if you're a bike, you do not listen to the street signs.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the one thing I've learned from living in New York City. The bikes don't give a fuck. No one's gonna go after them. They don't have license plates. They go wherever they want.
Oh, did I freeze again?
So yeah, I pull up to the office building.
You make it to the institute successfully because you are driving and Cressida is not. Yeah, you can head back down into the basement. Are you going to present the box to Carter or Cressida, or are you going to hide it from them?
Yeah, so she is gonna slip the box into a bag, and yeah, for now she's gonna just slip the box into her purse, which she's carrying. I just retconned that.
Perfect. Is it an Ita bag?
Yeah, sure. But it's not an Ita bag of any like fandom you can possibly recognize. It actually might be no, that's a little too much. I was gonna say it's an Ita bag of herself, but she's not quite that bad yet.
Not yet.
She's working on it.
No, it's just like general it's like a little holographic backpack. It's hard to look at like everything else on her body. And now there's a haunted music box in it.
I will say, like, Carter doesn't look directly at Cressida very often. Like they look.
I don't think anyone does.
She is a walking migraine trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take their glasses off to look at Cressida. It's a little bit easier when it's muted.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did everyone? Is everyone all right? How did visiting the apartment go?
Oh,
Well,
could have gone better.
I don't think it could have.
we didn't find the lady, and I lost my shoes.
We did find the box.
You lost your shoes.
What are you talking about?
For a good cause, though. For a good cause.
You lost your shoes. How did?
We can expense.
I'm
you
not
some
even
new
going
shoes,
to.
Gabriel. We can get you some new shoes if you like.
Thank you. I would like that. Can I take yours for right now?
Sure.
I'll come back tomorrow
Does-
and give you new
wait.
ones. It's fine.
Carter's wearing
Wait.
shoes.
So, Carter like slides out from behind their desk, and like they move very sort of like slowly and like joints bad, but they do take off their shoes. How tall did Gabriel's about 5'6", right?
Yeah, 5'6", 5'6.5".
Their shoes probably might fit Gabriel because they're also about 5'6". So like, and they will just slide
How
over a pair of
tall
like
is everybody?
very well like really nice memory foam loafers. Like they're really nice thick-soled shoes. I mean, I suppose I'm not using mine. I'm sitting here, but I would like them back eventually.
Tomorrow, I swear.
Okay.
I just put on his shoes.
Okay, question. How tall is everybody?
Oh,
In shoes or out of shoes?
Out of
that's a good
just
question.
out of shoes.
Pretty normal, like 5'6" maybe.
But is Cressida
I'm
ever
5'6",
not wearing her
5'5".
platforms?
Yeah, she's wearing 7-inch platforms.
Okay,
Wow.
so Miss Lazarus is taller than everybody else,
6'3".
except for Cressida. For the
The power of stripper heels.
half a foot tall platforms. Wonderful.
Yeah.
They're necessary for my brand.
Andromeda is the shortest of the bunch. She knows this. But she's not a fan.
She, it suits her. It suits her.
She's perfect. I love that they're short. Me too.
Short.
But yeah, no, I mean Carter's like 5'6" when they get up and walk around with their cane. But for the most part, they're sitting in a chair reading when you see them. They do occasionally get up and walk around, but for the most part, for body reasons, they're usually seated.
That's fair.
That's
We also found the probable manufacturers of the box. Solinsky Toy Emporium, I believe it was called.
Oh. Well,
Does that ring any bells?
not personally, but we might have files on it in the stacks. I'm working my way through them, but I haven't read all of them yet.
All right. Let's take a quick search on Google, shall we?
Yep, you can Google.
Sounds like a plan.
Has anybody noticed that the box is like gone?
Carter doesn't know you have the box.
Yeah.
Oh.
Notices, but is apathetic.
Where'd the box
not a
go?
snitch.
It could be valuable to examine it.
The box?
Was it there?
Yeah, we found
Yes,
it.
it was
I said I had
there.
it last time I saw it.
don't
Is that
think we found
Cressida?
I don't think we found it, or if we did, we left it behind. Isn't that
Cressida?
interesting?
What the fuck are you
I
on
would
about?
like to roll for my lying move.
Who are you lying to?
Everybody.
Everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody?
Does it say, is it a contested roll or is it just a roll?
Let me pull that up. Okay. Twisted perspective. You can lie and entirely change someone's point of view. Roll plus power. Against other PCs, this is a contested roll.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Against everyone's thought. So I'll let you choose, Birdie. Do you want to roll individually for each of us or once?
I think it would be very interesting if some people believe me and some people don't. So
So everyone else roll plus thought. Christina will roll plus power.
That's
That's a 10.
I have a 9.
I have an 11.
I have.
what
an
about
8. Carter rolled
okay.
an 8.
So I rolled a 10, which means
Oh no!
So Carter and Gabriel believe
100% believe me.
Yeah.
her. I'm gonna have the two of you roll. Actually, what's your thought modifier, Alex?
+1.
And yours is your power is +2.
Yes.
I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you re-roll. I think a
Okay.
second contest.
Oh
Ooh.
no. Against the same
Both of you re-roll.
roll? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna keep my 10.
I was like, if I succeed a 10. That is another 10.
It's a 9, damn it.
Ooh!
So 50-50 split.
I could spend another humanity.
To make it a 12. How badly do you
Nah,
want
it's
this music box?
I really want this fucking music box, but I'm not gonna do. I feel like it's a little cheap to spend a humanity every time something doesn't go my way, even if it's really fun.
You're doing a speed run, a ritual speed run.
Oh, fuck it.
One session, I will ruin the spell roll.
Oh, fuck it. I'm doing it.
Oh god, great.
Which means
Great.
that also brings me to the 3 threshold where I am noticeably monstrous.
Oh, no! Like, you aren't already?
You want to describe it or do you want me to describe it?
You go for it. You go for it.
But yeah, you do.
Can I just say,
first, yeah, and then I'll tell you what's up.
She says, no, don't you remember? We looked at it and we decided it was just too powerful to take with us. it made us. Everyone was just nervous around it, so we left.
That's fair. We might need to send someone later to see if it's still there, just because
of course.
leaving it there might be
Yeah,
dangerous.
it nearly trapped poor Miss Lazarus.
Oh, are you all right?
I am fine. Does her lie work on me as well?
No.
No. Okay.
Or at least I don't think it does.
No,
Like,
you only got the 12 on the reroll.
Okay, making
yeah, no,
sure.
my second.
I
roll
am
was-
giving Kessida the biggest stink eye.
and she's looking at Miss Lazarus like, "Come fucking get me."
I am very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in this studio today.
But yes, so it is sort of like as Cressida says all of this, like obviously the three of you. I mean, I guess this doesn't affect Miss Lazarus because she succeeded, but the two of you know that she had the box. But as she talks, it's sort of like twists in your head and the words spin around, and all you can keep thinking to yourself is, maybe we didn't have the box. Maybe we did leave it there. And you're just sort of like left thinking, okay, perhaps we did. And as this is happening, you notice it's hard to look directly at Cressida. It's even harder now to look directly at Cressida. And when you do, everything seems just a little bit off. Almost like looking through like a pane of distorted glass or in one of those weird mirrors where she's just a little bit longer. And when she moves her hands, her fingers seem to be just a little too long and a little too sharp. And
If I might,
yeah, go
it's
ahead.
almost like her frame rate is not the same as the rest of you. It's just
I don't want my frame rate to be that high. I'm sorry.
like it's not something that you can actively look at and understand, but when you look at her movements, she doesn't move right.
She's clipping through.
Existence.
She's no
Yeah.
through the wall.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Okay.
And Carter's eyes kind of slide over and like widen for a moment, and then like they cover their head and sort of like have to like look down and say, "Sorry, you were mentioning
You all right?
Oh, I have a bit of a headache. It's all right. You were mentioning something about a toy shop."
Solensky Toy Emporium.
Sounds Russian.
Sounds like it could
And-
be anywhere.
Sounds like we should
Sounds-
go.
I think Andromeda was gonna Google it, right?
Yes.
Andromeda, please Google it.
I will let you Google for like. I'm not gonna make you roll to like physically type it into Google, but I will have you roll for like what level of useful information you find. So like a failure won't be like you can't Google. It'll just be
You
like,
forget how to Google.
It'll just be a level of like how much information you find.
Okay. What do I add to the roll?
Thought. Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple classes where you can add power to your Google rolls, but I don't think you're playing one of them.
So I rolled an 11 plus 1 is a 12.
That's a total success.
That's
You're
a
so good
very
at Google.
You do a really good Google.
You're so
I'm
good.
glad in college I know my way around the internet.
It's you found the button that says Google Maps and you clicked it and it's just there's the location.
You went past the first page of Google results and you like scrolled through several pages of Google results, which is essentially the deep web. Once you've gotten past page 3 of Google results, you're in the deep web.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So you look it up, and there is like a listing for it on like the Google business page. Like, you know, when you Google a business and it tells you its hours and things, there is a listing for that. They don't seem to have a company website of any kind. Like, you can't order things online from them or look at things. But there is like a base Google box, and all of the like information appears to be user registered. Like users have filled in the times that they're open, users have left reviews, but there doesn't seem to be like a business owner who runs the account. But you can see from that, like from what you can glean from the user reviews, that it's a toy shop that opened about a year and a half ago. But it feels like one of those like old-fashioned, old-timey toy stores, and lots of people like recommend going in and like looking around because all of the toys are on display. And they are especially known for extremely lifelike dolls.
That doesn't sit right.
And a lot of the reviews are like, "Oh yeah, like cheaper than American Girl dolls, but I got a doll that looks just like my kid." Sort of thing. Like I brought him a picture and he made me a doll that looks just like my kid.
Yes.
Um, we might.
I just want to say that I really think it was considerate and kind of this haunted toy store to have a Google listing with its hours and location.
Yes.
It's not by its choice. These are user provided. This the owner of this store possibly doesn't know how to Google.
Possibly.
I wish I didn't know how to Google. I think I'd be happier.
So, basically, this is a haunted doll store.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Are we going to the haunted doll store?
Oy vey.
I guess a better question is, are you going to the haunted doll store? Because if not, then I'm going by myself.
Are you driving?
No, she isn't.
That might be dangerous to go by yourself, Cressida. If it's really a haunted doll store.
Well, then I guess you guys should come with me.
I'm
Sure.
not liking either of my options.
I want to see where this music box came from, so I'm gonna go.
I mean, I guess you could
All
stay.
right.
I guess you could stay behind by yourself.
Pile into the car.
Everyone gets into the company car.
Dun, 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 dun.
That Miss Lazarus drives because the rest of us can't.
I can drive. I just shouldn't.
Yeah.
I want to make that very clear. That is a threat.
As an aside question, as something Carter would absolutely have used the knowing to know, did Cressida wear sunglasses to her driver's license appointment or edit her driver's license photo in post?
She wore sunglasses to her driver's license appointment.
Sick.
I don't know. I feel like the answer should 100% be all of the above.
Both.
2 pairs of sunglasses.
Like, it looks Photoshop. It looks Photoshop, but she insists that it's real. And if you ask anybody that was there that day, she was wearing sunglasses.
I love that.
Good.
All right.
But she looks Photoshopped, so nothing. I'm giving you no useful information.
It's one of the Institute's records that just baffles Carter.
No useful information is her specialty. Why did you give her an information sorting job? This was a poor choice.
The Institute just essentially hires whoever applies. We're begging for
Employment.
researchers.
Yeah, somebody died and they needed a replacement, like, real quick.
They were in the middle of a case and they were like, you!
With the TikToks.
You seem weird enough.
You
Come.
and your TikToks, you seem strange. Do you want to work for a strange place? We pay above minimum
Get an
wage.
anonymous email.
But yeah, the toy shop is like sort of on like in an outskirtsy area, like not quite suburbs, but not downtown. So you're in like a mostly like a really small like cutesy business district. Very specifically, it's not Old Town because Old Town is in downtown in Portland. But like in one
It's
of
in
those,
Beaverton.
yeah, it's in Beaverton. That's about what's correct. But yeah, so you're outside of Portland proper, but like not outside of the Portland greater area, and it's just like on a nice street, of mostly small independently owned businesses, that sort of thing. The toy shop itself appears to be in the bottom floor of a several floored building. So like there's like an awning that's red and yellow, and then like one of those marquee boards that says Solansky's Toy Emporium down the side, and then it's like a brick building with a couple more floors above that.
Oh, joy. That's next to my bagel shop that I like going to. All right.
We should go for bagels when we're done.
I'll go for bagels.
You should introduce me to your friends at the bagel shop.
I will do no such thing.
I'd
Lassie.
go for a bagel. I could use cinnamon raisin right about now.
Okay, fine. I park in the I park in the parking lot of the bagel shop.
Very good. They know you when you walk in, I assume, yeah?
Yeah.
They're very happy to see you, and they... Oh, good morning, Miss Lazarus. Oh, you brought friends? Is it your usual, Miss Lazarus?
Yes, please.
Of course. Rough day at work. And they just start chatting with you.
How could you tell?
They just start chatting with you as they're cooking your, do you like it heated? What do you like on your bagel?
Huh? Like a little toasted, like they probably do it like more like a traditional like Ashkenazi bagel.
Yeah.
Some cream cheese, some salt peas, a little bit of salmon. Ooh.
Yeah.
I am treating myself today.
Now I want
I'll
a
have
bagel.
one of what she's having.
They'll make you the exact same one.
Yeah. Exact same one. She's gonna make eye contact the whole time she eats it.
And Charlie's just like, I'll have cinnamon raisin bagel with cream cheese, please. Thank you.
Do you want
Um,
toasted?
Yes, please. And some
gonna-
hot chocolate, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna ask the shopkeep if he has any croissants here, or if bagels is just kind of like the thing.
This is a bagel shop. There are only bagels here.
We have bagels and challah.
Yeah.
We
If you
don't
want
talk
bread,
about
then you
the
have
friend.
challah. If you want challah bread.
I asked for half of an untoasted plain bagel.
Oh,
Nothing on it.
this is important.
All right, that's more insulting than anything that Cassandra has done.
This is important. Is it sliced in half, or is it just the top half?
That is up to the shopkeeper what he gives me.
You give
This is a hate crime.
I'm having flashbacks to those videos.
you give this request to the counter person, and they look at you a second and then write it down and nod, but you can tell that they're very confused. And they cut the bagel in half down the middle, not like a hamburger, if that makes sense. Not like a hamburger bun, it's just a half bagel. But they put the other half in they toast it and put all the things on it and just put it in Miss Lazarus's bag because they don't sell bagels by halves. So they just include it with Miss Lazarus's because they're like, I'm not gonna throw this away. And then they just
I think we need to take a humanity point away.
Gabriel loses a humanity point for bagel crime.
I'm willing. Well, what I do with it next is really gonna upset you.
That is the most threatening thing that has been said all night.
You have all received your bagels, and now I'm very scared of what Gabriel is going to do with theirs.
I am so scared on what Gabriel is going to do.
I put it in my pocket and just whisper, "For later." For
All right,
later.
that's it. I'm leaving. Actually, don't worry.
Like what? Like I have to know
I
what
understand.
kind of pocket. Like
Just like
Just
my
your
pants,
pants?
just my trouser pockets. Yeah, just like my, just like they were like fairly nice pants, and now there's just like a bulge of like half of a bagel in there.
this is the real horror. I've never written a statement this horrifying.
Could
Oh boy.
Those poor crumbs. They're just going to live.
All right, well, Miss Lazarus is never going to talk to Gabriel again.
Eating a bagel, and the gang has a nice time eating bagels, except for Gabriel, who I guess just sits there silently.
With my new shoes.
Your new shoes.
I mean, they're nice shoes.
Now that was truly twisted.
Says the person.
Are we ready for the haunted dolls now? Now that we've witnessed
suppose
this?
so.
That was truly twisted, says the person who literally stared at Miss Lazarus for the entirety of the meeting. Oh, I don't like the way you're tilting your head.
Twisted, you say?
Prey instincts.
Please, Andromeda, please don't get her started. It's...
I'm just trying to get to know you all better.
I'm not
Well-
sure I want that.
I have seen the most horrifying thing that I will be seeing for the next 50 years. I would say we are ready to go
Haunted
see
dolls.
the haunted doll.
Dolls. Haunted
Great.
dolls.
I forgot to ask at the beginning, does, like, Cressida have a TikTok, like, slogan? Is that a thing?
I
don't think so.
Not
I mean,
a
she has.
doll.
I really hope she does, despite the fact that it's not a normal
It's not a thing. It's a. I mean, maybe she does. She has a. She has a handle that I probably should have come up with before
No
this
worries.
started. So I'll get back to you on that.
No worries.
She's an E-girl, but the E stands for Eldritch.
Correct. Alright, you.
I think it's probably something innocuous like Crest creates, or like
Yeah, it's a very normal, like.
it's very normal, and her description's just like love to all my cranies. That's what she calls her fans.
Cranies.
Cranies.
All right, let's get into the haunted toy factory.
Yeah, let's
go.
we need a break from the real terror. Social
Yeah.
media algorithms.
Yeah, you can head over to the toy shop. It's probably like nearing closing time. You know it closes at 4, but it's not quite closing time yet. It's probably like 3:30ish. So the door is open. It's like when you walk in, it's like a small, very like varying degrees of expensive, but all very nice, clearly handmade dolls. And then other things like there are different sections, like aisles, and there's like an aisle of music boxes and an aisle of snow globes and some stuffed like toys and things, and then like various other like tit and tat toys that you expect in a toy shop. But the focus is very clearly like the dolls, and they line the walls and behind the counter, like varying degrees of very, very well crafted dolls. As you walk through.
I don't like this.
And as you're walking, are you entering the shop, or are you just like standing in the door? Like, are you entering the shop?
Entering.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you're walking along, you're all like looking around and like sort of like taking in the sights and everything. Gabriel, something like moves out of the corner of your eye, and like you go to like look at it, and you pause for a moment and are startled as you look into a doll that looks identical to you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I have this bagel. Take it out of my pocket and try to shove it in the doll's mouth to see
What?
if it does anything. Because I have no other instinct but to shove something in its mouth.
my
Normal
God.
person, they said.
No,
Just
normal.
your average Joe, they said.
Completely average. Perfectly normal. This is
I don't want to
fine.
touch it.
I'm,
So you use
you're
your
gonna
pocket bagel to poke it?
shove a like. Are you? It's like, are you opening its mouth or no?
No, I'm just gonna try and and shove it in its face to see if it like gets wedged in there. You know?
Um, I mean, it moves the face, like you bonk it against it, and it like sort of like shifts the mouth because the mouth does open, like it is hinged. But before you can really get too far, you hear someone go, "Can I help you with that?"
Oh, hey! Are you the owner of the toy emporium?
Yeah, I'm Yuri. Welcome. And
Are
you
you?
turn, and there's like a very jovial looking, older, probably in his like late 60s, you would guess, man with like very white hair. He looks exactly like you would expect a toy maker to look.
Hmm.
Like whatever your like thought in your brain of what a toy maker looks like, this man looks like it.
Does he? I feel like this is a question for a role.
Okay.
However, I'm gonna ask:
Okay.
does he look different to all of us?
You would have to discuss that amongst yourselves, unless you can
Oh,
read minds.
I cannot. That's
I
another.
could see in the dark and summon spooky shadow man.
The eye character would be able to tell you that, like if you had an eye person
Ooh.
with you,
Oh,
but
But we don't.
you don't.
we don't.
That's
So we
Carter.
gotta do this the normal way.
Shove
Shoving a
bagels in
bagel
people's
into a
mouths.
doll's mouth isn't exactly the normal way, but go on.
I appreciate you thinking that my dolls are very lifelike, but they do not eat or sleep or drink.
Are they
Don't-
alive?
I think everything is alive if you give it life.
Follow-up question: why is there a doll that looks exactly like me?
Well, I don't think I know what you're talking about.
I turn around and try to find the doll. Is it behind me or anywhere, or do I not see it anymore?
You look back and the doll that you thought looked like you isn't there anymore.
Oh, well, that's fun. I turn around and say, well, never mind then.
You so many new faces. Can I help you with anything?
Yes, we're here to investigate
I'm
some
a big fan of your work.
like, don't lie to him.
Oh, thank you. I really love the work that I do.
It's truly captivating.
Yes, I've been told. Thank you very much.
We wanted to ask you about your music boxes.
Oh, yes, they are something I have been taught how to do for a very long time. It is a lot of very small work, very hard for old hands, but worth it in the end.
I see.
Um, do you remember selling purple music box with a ballerina spinning around in it to anyone recently?
For Sanda, Ugh, Cassandra, you should show him the box.
What?
I thought we left that.
She doesn't have it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Never mind.
Did you say a purple one?
Yes, a
Yes.
purple one.
Um,
Nice stained wood, velvet insides.
A melody that just really sticks with you.
Oh, thank you. But the songs, they are very traditional. All of the music boxes that I have play very traditional music, and he like thinks for a minute. So, I do recall selling a purple one, but it was a while ago, maybe a couple of years.
hmm.
Who did you
don't
sell
keep-
it to?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't keep track of that sort of thing.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
We're investigators. We're looking after a missing persons case.
A missing persons case.
Yeah.
You, like
Um,
very shocked, like the object of shock. Well, this is a toy shop.
Yeah. Where the music box in question is sort of
They complained about
evidence.
not being able to get the music out of their head, not being able to get rid of the box, and we can't seem to find them anywhere.
And we can't find the owner. The person we're looking for wasn't the owner, unfortunately.
Mr. Solinsky, where exactly are you from?
Well, that is a little rude to come into my shop and ask me where I'm from.
Yes, but you said the songs were traditional.
Yeah,
You could just ask for the name of the songs.
I'm
Those
sorry.
traditional
You
songs
said
don't
you
have
are
average
investigating,
names.
but what exactly?
Do you have a back room we can discuss things in, by chance?
I have a workshop, but I don't think I'm very comfortable letting you in. I'm feeling a little accosted.
Can I use my like spooky shadowman
Your
thing to
little
kind of like
ghosties.
Are you trying to
yeah.
intimidate the haunted doll maker?
Huh?
Do it.
Listen.
I don't
yes.
trust him.
You guys, I could just open the door.
It's listen. That's the backup plan.
Actually,
Okay.
we'll finish the scene, but can I slip off while this conversation? I know it's hard for someone like Cressida to sneak, but
Yeah, she's really not sneaky necessarily.
It's more of no one wants to acknowledge her.
But yeah, you can wander.
I can roll for it.
There's
Yeah,
nothing scarier.
Make a tread carefully roll for me if you want to like sneak. In the
I'd like to slip off, and then you guys can continue what you're doing.
Do I give her a bonus for actively talking to the person?
Depends on
Yeah,
who,
distracting.
Are you slipping away specifically from Yuri or from everyone?
From Yuri.
Then yes, you get a +1.
I think. Okay, so that is. Eeks. It's agile 5. Okay, no, that's a failure.
Mark experience.
That's
Did you
extremely a
just level up?
failure.
No,
I did just
yeah.
level up.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did
boy.
absolutely just level up. Which is going to be real fun. Yeah. Should I like DM you what move I'm going to take?
Yes, please.
Cool.
But yeah, so so you're trying to get away unnoticed.
Yeah, but I'm Cressida.
But you are painfully noticeable right now. You haven't really grown into your new state of being, so to speak, because you've only been this new self for about 3 hours. So you're trying to like sort of rein in the fact that you're running at 120 FPS and the world is running at 30 FPS, and so sometimes you just kind of like stutter stop essentially, and you like brush up a few things, and like Yuri is aware that you are like walking off, but he's not going to stop you from like walking around the store.
Okay, but I probably can't sneak into his office.
No, if he would notice if you were going to sneak into the office.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna look around the store. But y'all continue.
Yeah, what do you roll to make spooky boys?
It is plus power.
Cool. And then if you want, you can describe your own spookies if you'd like to.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 5.
Oh. Mark experience.
You should spend a humanity to. You should spend a humanity
I probably
to do it.
will.
Yes.
Yep,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
Join me.
spend my first point of humanity to do that. You can kind of see coming from like behind him, kind of he like sees for a moment a like divine realm around him, as he can kind of see a flash of just to him would be described as weirdly like amorphous like ghosts, like spooky demons, shadow demons. To Miss Lazarus, they're just simply the shadim everywhere, and he's giving him a quick glance on what is just around him. Yeah.
You do get the sense that like Yuri is definitely unnerved by these shadows. Like there is like a tensing, and he does like tense up, and sort of like the set of his jaw gets like he looks noticeably less jovial. And for a split second, something in his face sort of shivers is the best way to think about it. Like for a second, all of you see something that isn't quite there, and then his face is back to the smiling mask, but like with definitely something a little harder in the eyes now. And he says, "Yeah, I don't really know what you're asking of me."
We just want to ask some questions.
Would you like to roll to, I think it's interrogate someone?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
give yourself a +1 for the intimidating shadows that you have conjured up.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
it's when you elicit private evidence, perform an interrogation.
Yeah.
Roll plus thought.
Cool. That's +3. That's a 10.
Then I think you get two questions?
2 questions.
Cool.
I've got the thingy open.
Thank you. I should, I wrote this game, but do I ever open my own resource sheets? No.
It's fine. That's what your players are for.
1 second. I unplugged myself from the computer like a fool.
Oh no.
There we go. Is there a list of questions there, Birdie, or is it any question?
Yes. So the questions are, do you remember anyone else being at the scene of the incident? How did you get to and from the location? Were there any unusual smells or sounds? Were there any precursors or omens? And has it continued to trouble you? So this seems like it's more for like questioning statement givers, but so you get 2 of those questions.
Yeah, I will let you shift those around a little bit because this is more like geared towards the statement giver. I will let you shift those around a little bit. It's essentially you don't get like an open question that I'll answer entirely honestly, but you can ask 2 questions and receive answers for them.
Okay. My first question is going to be, where is this music from?
Well, the from is a very nebulous kind of concept. Uh, my family and I, we used to work in a circus, and the music that we played was the music that I brought with me when I came here. So I suppose the from is the circus.
Hmm. Where is the circus at? Was
Ask
it
if
in
there's
Europe?
anything spooky.
Where's the circus?
Yeah, where did you travel to and from? I think would be a better question.
Oh, we traveled all
In the
over the
circus.
we traveled all over the place, mostly in Europe and the mainland. The last time I worked with the circus, we were in the the middle of the British Isles, but we had a bit of a falling out, and some of us left the circus because we did not like the way it was being run,
Hmm.
and so I came here to start a different life.
Interesting. Poor soul, why would you go to Britain?
Bro, why did you go to England?
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, those are he. Is there anything else I can help you with? You
Can
seemed very
I
interested.
ask him a can I ask him a question or should I roll for interrogation?
Depending on what the question is, you may not have to roll. If it's a question that he'll just answer, I'll let you roll, but I'll let you ask it. But if it's something he won't answer, I'll make you roll.
I look him dead in the eye. So if you were in the circus, who taught you how to make toys?
I taught myself how to make toys. It was a passion project.
Hmm. That sounds believable.
Do you
Can I
say that
say
out
that
loud?
away from him? Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna roll vibrations in the earth
Okay.
because I need to find out if these dolls are moving or not.
Okay.
Um, I can use vibrations in the ground to sense other creatures or structures, and I will roll plus power.
Sick.
Come on, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Haha! 11. I'm not making these rolls up. I promise. I have not
I
failed yet,
believe you.
but I will
I-
show you the dice. 11 plus 1, that's a
A
12.
solid 12.
the power of being the normie is you get is the dice gods bless you.
Yeah. Maria also rolls particularly
Yeah,
well.
like I'm rolling the worst I have ever rolled now that I'm actually like good thing I can just throw my humanity
I'm not
away.
allowed to move my headphones at all or I will die. Yeah, so you sort of like set back while they're having this conversation to sort of like do your thing, and you sort of like plant your feet very securely, and it takes you a second because you kind of have to sort of come to center within yourself, and there's always a like a rumbling that you always feel. It's just kind of the natural state of being that things are always moving. But once you focus in, you can kind of pinpoint that movement and make it into structures and objects and things. In this front room, you can feel yourself and your coworkers and Yuri. The dolls don't seem to be moving, not independently at least. But you do, you can feel movement from the back. So the rooms that he won't let you in, you distinctly feel there is movement coming from one of those rooms in the back.
I can help with that.
Mr. Sir, did
Sorry,
you
one
ever have
second.
any, of course,
I'm, I am being asked a question that I must answer, but I cannot answer it. I'll just answer it out loud. So I can't see the Tiltify page, but Rena can. You can purchase, because Cole is asking, for I think it's $5. You can purchase a success or a failure. So you can pay $5 to give someone a total success or a total failure. If you do make that purchase, I would say to ping myself or Rena in the chat so that I know, because I can't see the Tiltify page, and then let me know who you would like to give it to, and I can I will let that person know that they're like they have an auto success to spend or an auto fail, I suppose.
Oh
I
no,
feel like
that's spooky.
if it's an auto fail, like we shouldn't have a choice.
No, the auto fail will be your next roll.
Oh boy.
You can also make me succeed or fail, so you can roll to you can have me do it as well. So yeah, Cole, if you just let me or Rena know what you would like to give and to who. Thank you for
Oh, my friend's
oh,
here.
and someone bought one for Cressida. So Cressida,
Oh,
you get an auto
Oh.
success.
thank you for your contributions. I know exactly what I want to use that for.
Oh no.
Don't like that.
An auto success for Cressida. That sounds delicious.
Oh, I will use that very well. Thank
And,
you.
You also have Gabriel. You have a success. So
Oh,
whenever
nice.
you want to spend
Ooh.
that, go ahead.
Rewarded for bagel crimes.
Rewarded for your bagel.
No,
crimes.
you should not be rewarded.
Andromeda leans in, sort of unplanting themselves from the ground,
Yeah.
and they walk up to Yuri and they say,
Oh, they also bought a fail for me, so I'm gonna fail the next roll.
Wonderful.
Nice.
"Woo!
F to the shopkeeper.
Do you run this shop on your own? Are there any other employees that you hire? Maybe I don't know, some high school kid or a cashier or something."
Well, I have a couple of assistants, so that I can take breaks mostly. Or if I have to work in the workshop, they can man the front desk.
Do you let anyone else besides yourself in the workshop, or your assistant in there?
Sometimes my assistants come into the workshop if I need an extra set of hands. I'm training them to learn how to do what I do, so that perhaps someday they could start a toy shop of their own.
All right. I pull Cressida to the side, Cressida to the side, and I say,
I gotcha.
"Thank you." I don't know how you did that. But thank you. And then I get a headache from looking at her.
Yep.
The wink that she gives you kind of plays 3 times. Almost like an echo, but almost like a visual echo.
I know exactly what you mean.
That's horrifying.
I need to change my meds.
God, me too.
Don't we all? Don't
The power
we
of
all?
Cressida. So I guess we should try. I want to grab Andromeda and let's go back to the workshop.
How are you getting to the workshop? Like, I know what you plan on doing with the door, but how do you plan on?
I plan on walking.
like right past?
I mean, I already failed my I already failed my sneaky roll, and it feels a little cheap to roll the sneaky roll again.
I mean,
so I think I just have to do it blatantly. Unless you're gonna actually, I mean, what I was doing while Cressida was wandering around, and I guess she's back now, was looking around to see if, like, can I find anything spooky or off in this shop? So I guess we could say, like, she has been blatantly investigating.
Do you want to roll for that for me?
Yeah.
Roll flop for me.
Okay, well, that is just a straight 10.
Nice.
Let's find out what my modifier
Nice.
is. My modifier is a 0, so that's a 10.
10.
Nice.
A perfect success. Um, from the external perspective, these look like normal dolls, things that you would buy for a kid if you really if your kid really like dolls and you were mildly wealthy. They're not cheap dolls, they're really nice dolls. But the longer you look at them, the more uncomfortable you get.
Do I get uncomfortable or am I excited?
Well, so it's kind of a bit of both. It's a little bit you feel threatened but intrigued. These dolls are encroaching on your space, and you're no, this is my space, but also you're oh, you can do more than you look like you can do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just lean in and say to a doll, "You're very pretty, darling. But don't forget who's the queen in here."
Are you flirting with the doll?
Oh, I was by myself when that happened. I don't talk to objects in front of my coworker.
Okay.
That's not true. I absolutely do. But I don't talk to objects quite that threateningly. So that's my little aside, what happened while you were talking to. Now we're back.
Because I was going to say, if it is an option, if you want, there is you could go around in the back if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's be sneaky about it.
You don't have to, but you can go to the back alley.
All right, let's do that instead of just blatantly wandering into this guy's workshop. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe for once in my life I should be subtle.
Why are you picking now to be subtle?
Because I'm gonna do something worse later.
Oh, good.
Come on, Drami. So yeah, I take Andromeda and show me where you felt it.
What are the two of you doing before I take them around the back?
I am
going back
probably
to the bagel shop.
Classic.
I'm out. No, after getting a little bit of information, I'll be like, all right, good day. I walk out, get in the car. I'm ready.
I'm gonna look at the dolls and try to see if I can find the one that looked like me. With just blind type of just card through the dolls, look behind them, see if any of them gonna jump out at me. Just real suspicious
You see it more than once, but every time you go to pick it up and be see, it's this one, it shifts into a different person.
Okay, that's fun. I'm gonna then just walk out of the shop and see.
Thank you for stopping by. Oh, I left the meeting. Oh, 1 second. Rena!
chaos.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Oh.
Anyway, we're gay people.
Yes.
We are gay people. We've decided that. It's an executive decision.
Unanimous.
Woo!
Ooh!
Hello, we return. The triumphant return.
The desktop audio is also muted.
I did.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no, it's
Okay.
fine. I dropped a message about it, but yeah, you might want to.
Cool.
You could start thanking people.
Okay,
Mm.
yeah, our audio did just come back in, so we can thank people.
Yeah. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
everyone. We've experienced some technical difficulties. I'm gonna open the Tiltify page on my phone.
That should be the name of the stream.
Yeah, we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Currently.
It's because I'm playing with the stranger, and I've signed myself up for this bullshit because the stranger can't use computers. Let me open the Tiltify page so I can thank people for donating while Rena does their magical thing of fixing all of the things for me while I cry
Yeah.
in the background.
I know, I feel that.
Actually, wait, this might fix it.
There's the Tiltify link. Oh, that's the fake me.
It fixed some things. It fixed some things and broke others.
The fake me is now
We're
KJ.
working on it.
Nice.
All right,
Oh boy.
go. Where
Oh,
is
my
it?
fish are trying to eat each other
I
again.
would like to thank Cole and Ias, as well as the anonymous person who donated $10, and your boy Mel for donating $50. So thank you all so
Whoa.
much. It means a lot, and I'm really excited. So
This
thank
is
you
so
all.
awesome.
Thank you for purchasing my failing roll that I will hopefully get to use sometime soon. I'm very excited
oh no,
to
Birdie
fail.
is twice.
Birdie is.
Very
there's
excited.
2 of you now, Birdie. Congratulations. You get to be 2 players.
Yay.
I guess.
This is good. This Cressida deserves.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's just
It's all-
only Cressida from now on. All of our screens.
That's the.
We are all a Cressida.
Yes.
We are all.
This is her ultimate plan.
It is chaos time.
The spiral ritual is just like 500 Cressidas
God, no.
filming TikToks.
How many points are you away from ritual status?
I still have 3 humanity.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
Ooh.
remember if you had gotten even further down.
No.
don't
I
know,
mean,
like,
I
if
feel like
these-
it would-
these transitions are happening live or not, which is very funny.
I don't know.
It would be
I'm watching
really-
it. They are happening live.
Okay,
It
It's
is very
2-7.
funny.
This is very,
Working on it.
very interesting.
Yeah,
to
I just
watch.
want to say, if y'all want to come to the ritual, it's CressidaCon. Like TanaCon, but better. TanaCon, but 500% more Eldritch horror.
It's on the sun.
Don't look at my bookmarks.
What?
Don't look at my bookmarks.
Oh, your
are
bookmarks are
above the-
visible? Sorry.
All right.
It's okay.
Oh, bookmarks.
We can, I don't know.
Is it time?
I think if folks don't mind while Rena fixes KJ's camera, we can continue. But if we want to wait until KJ's back in place, we can.
KJ will be back in place very quickly, so.
I think we can get sneaky. It's it is 11 for me.
I'm sorry. We should. This is the closing zone of the case, so we should.
Yeah.
We should be getting to sleep
It's
soon.
okay. I just didn't wanna.
There's KJ. There they are.
Hey.
Yay! We're all back.
We're all back in place.
Thank you, Rena, for fixing my deep crying. All right.
Criminal.
Yeah. So so did you go back to the car, Gabriel?
I just walked outside of the shop, so I'm just kind of standing there, seeing if I see any of my compatriots really doing anything interesting.
So I know you probably are not quite there in time to catch Andromeda and Cressida going into the alleyway, but you can see that they're not in the car, so you could possibly conjecture that they've gone somewhere. And then you see that Miss Lazarus is just chilling in the car. She's done.
I'm reading the book. I got some nice AC. I have the extra half a bagel that I'm just chowing down.
Do you think I? Do you think I could go ahead and try to run into like the alleyway to see if I like kind of see them down there?
Yeah, you could probably run and catch up.
Cool. I will do that.
I will
Okay.
also let Miss Lazarus catch up if she decides she wants to. I'm not gonna like make you
Nah,
get in the car.
she. Oh no, she thinks about it. She sees Gabriel run over. Oh, it closes the book. Puts the like quarter of a bagel back in the bag. And gets out. Oh, wait,
But yeah, they probably catch up then like as you're like at the back door. Like you're in the back alley, and you know how like places have like a place where you can like dump your recycling and stuff, and then there's like the secret back door that's just for recycling or whatever. That's the door you're in front of.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
There's also a fire escape if you choose to go into the upper floors.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I
Exciting.
hate stairs.
This is where
Andromeda
you,
likes
this is where
grounded.
where you felt it.
Yeah. She they grab Cressida's weird and sharp hand, and they sort of lead her into like the back area, right, like the wall against where the workshop is.
Do you want to try to open it?
I'm not particularly talented with doors. I figured with all your chaos, you probably.
Open the door.
All right, this is fine.
Yep.
Locks have never really been a problem for me.
Somehow that makes sense.
Yeah, you can open the door. You're in like not the
It
workshop.
does.
Oh.
The move does say if the door is guarded by another entity, I have to roll. Is this door guarded by an entity?
Particular door is not.
Okay.
There will be one that is. It's not this particular.
Ooh.
Well, good thing I have 2 auto successes from our lovely donors. There's no such thing as locked doors when you have money.
You're right. For the low price of
We can
$5,
unlock
you
all
can
the plot
give
locks.
Cressida as many doors as she wants.
Just imagine the elbow gif, but it's
And instead of doors, it's just doors.
yes. That's literally just what being a spiral avatar is like.
Yeah. But yeah, so you open the door, and it's like kind of this like little back like storage room, you would assume. It's kind of like dusty, and there are boxes lying around, and then there is a staircase that goes up, and then there are 2 doors. One door that leads like what you would feel is closer towards the shop, and one door that leads to like the side.
Is that the door where you feel it?
DM?
The vibrations you felt were from the side door.
And I'm also slowly petting Andromeda's hair.
With your long fingers.
It's very affectionate.
Okay. It's the side door.
Good job. Let's go open this McFucking door.
This one, when you go to use your ability that normally lets you just open things, you do feel a bit of a block.
Huh. I'm gonna like jiggle it for a second, and then I'm gonna look at it very sternly. Can I roll first, and if I fail, use the success, or should I just like? How do you want to do this?
I'm okay with that if you want to like spend.
I just want to know how the
an
dice are
extra
treating.
second.
I just want to know how the dice are treating me tonight.
Not well.
Not well.
Yeah, I mean, partial successes are fun.
Yeah,
So-
I would just say if you fail and then use it, I won't give you the experience that I normally would because you're not like losing anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is a power roll.
Yes.
Okay, so I got an 8.
Okay.
I'll take that partial success.
I will give you a choice. You can either like do it and expose yourself to like a potential danger, or you can do it and it causes you like a mental harm. Like you will take harm from the effort of pushing through
Oh,
this block.
bring on the danger, baby.
Okay.
She goes, this is a feisty one, and then jiggles it and opens it.
Yeah, so you sort of throw caution to the wind in your opening, like you power
Yeah.
through this blockage that's keeping you from opening the door, which doesn't happen particularly often for you, and you sort of like force it open in like a flourish, and inside the room, you are in the workshop. It is lit by like oil lamps, which is odd for a modern building in Portland. It's lit by oil lamps in like the corners, and then a couple more on this like work table. And in front of the work table are seated 2 identical dolls of a young woman, probably in her late 20s, like dark complexioned. And the dolls are clothed, and both of them are wearing like a pale pink hijab over like modest mauve clothing.
I think we may have found our statement giver.
And they are both very clearly dolls. Like their eyes are glassy. But as you're opening this door, it is about closing time for the shop, and you hear coming from the other room as he's locked up the doors up front, the doll maker is definitely coming.
Exciting.
Are there any objects that can be wielded on the desk? Like anything sharp, like a leather cutter or something?
Yeah, I mean it's a standard workshop, so there are like power tools, but there are also like really delicate hand tools, because he's got like very nice sharp knives for hand sculpting, and different screwdrivers of different sizes, and like X-Acto knives and things like that. So there's a large variety of potential objects that can be used for stabbing in here. Or
Okay.
bonking over the head.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna find someplace to hide because I can
Take
fit
one of these
way
with you.
two spaces. Wait, huh?
Take one of these with you. And I hand Andromeda like one of the like larger X-Acto knives.
I have a pocket knife, but thank you.
That works as well.
I take it and I just like cram myself into like a very narrow
Into a doll.
shelf. A very narrow shelf. And I close the cupboard door behind me.
Perfect.
I would die for Andromeda.
They're hiding in a cabinet, and I love them.
Me too.
Yes.
So cute.
But yeah, you are
Gabriel.
hidden in that cabinet.
Gabriel, do you fancy yourself someone who uses more heavier objects?
Yeah, I'll take a power tool.
Yes.
Are you just taking like a power drill? Like
Yep. There's nowhere else to hide. Yes. Wield it.
wielding a drill. Or like one of those new
Worst case,
staplers.
best case scenario, you can just. Worst case scenario,
Maybe if I threaten the dolls, he won't hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
What's is Cressida gonna grab anything? Like, I assume you guys are prepping for a fight.
No.
Cressida's just standing here.
Cressida,
Just standing there T-posing.
Yeah.
Cressida would like to speak to the person that locked a door to her.
That's fair. She's got a right to be mad about that. Also, I would like you to know that Google said customer would like to speak to the person. And I had like a war flashback.
What did it say?
Customer would like to speak to the person.
I mean, the customers would like to speak to the person. Just saying.
But yeah, so two of you are brandishing tools. One of you is just standing there, I assume looking mad as all hell. And
She's
I
not
grab.
mad so much as like there is an energy.
got it.
She's not mad. She's intrigued, but she also wants, like, I'm the baddest bitch in town, not you.
Some
Jealous.
jealousy. Yeah. I'm gonna grab one of the more smaller X-Acto knives and just kind of stand a little bit more in the darkness, but like not necessarily hiding as much, letting my black clothing do most of the job.
Yeah. You are there. You're probably a little bit more hidden than like Cressida, who's standing directly in the doorway.
Yeah,
Who is the embodiment of neon.
of loud.
But yeah, and Yuri comes in from the back, and he sees you all in his workshop. He's, I don't remember asking you to come back here.
You didn't.
How did you get in here?
I unlocked the door.
You unlocked my door? That's quite rude. This is my workshop.
I think it was very talented of you to lock it in the first place.
It's like a look of confusion as he tries to process that statement. Well, I locked it because I did not want anyone in here. These are my unfinished projects. They're not for people to see.
These projects bear a striking resemblance to our missing person. It's truly exquisite work you're doing in here.
Thank you. It has taken a lot of practice to really capture the human form in the way that I do.
That was in character. Just
Yeah, mine too.
Like, very much.
Good. But really, I must ask you to leave. This is a very private space. No? What will you do?
I don't know. We really didn't think this far. We just found haunted dolls and got very excited.
Yes.
I say I'll leave if you can tell me who commissioned you to make these dolls.
Commissioned me? This is a personal project.
Oh. Are you stealing souls? What are you doing?
Stealing souls? That is a weird... What?
Like the Bright One said, that doll, or those dolls, I should say, have a very striking resemblance to our missing persons case. I think you have some answers to give us.
I don't think so.
Look, we got through your supernatural lock. We got that one got stuck in your music box for a few minutes. We had that one. Well, I guess they're hiding. One of them figured out the dolls were moving. We know this; they're supernatural dolls. You don't have to pretend to be normal. Can you please just tell us what's going on so we can go home? Like,
Oh, you are extremely willing to play all of your cards.
Who said we were playing all of our cards?
I'm just getting started, actually, but
Well, this is my workshop where I do my work. I can show you if you would like to really understand.
Chris is like, I know that they're saying they're gonna turn me into a doll, but God, I want to do this.
Gabriel's thinking the pros and the cons of this. Hold on.
Self-preservation, zero.
A doll.
Curiosity, infinity.
Curiosity killed the Cressida.
Lilith is very close to just kind of straight up murder, honestly. So she's going to say anything.
Murder is the answer sometimes.
Sometimes, indeed.
I ready my power tool in anticipation of what he's gonna do with these dolls.
No, that's a very tempting offer. I'm not going to lie.
I'm sure. Oh no. We've lost Alex.
Alex is dead.
But why don't you show us on her?
TikTok today, I get turned into a doll.
Why don't you show us on her and points to the dolls?
Oh, I would.
Why are there?
I would be.
Why are there two?
Why are there two? Because there are two.
Yeah.
Why is there one of you?
That's a very good question. I really think there should be more.
No, there really shouldn't.
But I would be happy to show what I do.
Show us.
And he walks over to the dolls and he like sort of just kind of like shoves the two of you out of the way of his workbench. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And moves you out of the way as he grabs like a couple of very like fine like tools. He's got like a very fine carving knife and then like a pot of paints that he's then using to like color things. And you watch as he begins carving out the shape of like the curve of a smile and like the lower lip on one, and it begins appearing on the other as well. Once I'm finished and the work is complete, they will be perfect.
Beautiful. I don't know. I think I got the information I need. We could probably shut this case up pretty well.
You think so?
Think?
Well, unless you guys want to go become dolls, I would love a demonstration, but I think you probably don't want to do that.
Where? I would like to ask Zelensky, where did you get the inspiration for this particular doll?
The same way I get my inspiration for any of my dolls. They wander into my life. Some people are more suited to this work than others.
I have nothing to say. I put the power tool down and make my way a little bit towards the door, just like Edwin. Just edging my way towards the door.
He's not going to stop you from leaving.
I stand near the door. I don't leave. I just stand there menacingly.
I am going to finish this piece. I mean, you are welcome to stay and watch if you think it is interesting. I am always looking for new apprentices.
I'd like to watch.
Yes.
Oh, so you're teaching this to your apprentices. What a
course.
surprise.
Alex is missing, but it's not because they're missing. They are out of the call.
What? You said you had apprentices, but I don't see anyone. Where are they?
Oh, they're not here at the moment. I think one of them may be upstairs.
Can we go talk to them? Maybe they can help us with our missing person case so we can leave your life forever.
You could try. I don't guarantee they'd be very talkative. The others are out.
Out where?
Exploring?
They're probably, I mean, assuming they're people. They might be dolls. I don't know.
I'm
But
hoping they're
it's,
people.
Put it past him to make
Good
them
for you for
dolls.
giving your employees a positive work-life balance.
Well, we are all very devoted to the work that we do. I think it's important that we all get to see the world.
Of course.
Mm.
I'm an artist myself, I understand. TikTok is art.
Press X to doubt.
Truly. Can I leave that door, go outside, and see if it's possible for me at my medium-ish stature to get onto the fire escape, or if I would like need a boost or something?
You can leave. He won't stop you. And you can go outside. If you wanted to get there without a boost, you'd probably have to do some like crawling up on the trash cans and then hopping. Essentially, you'd have to do like some acrobatics. It's a little it's a little bit above your like easy grasp.
I see.
You do
Would
have
I
an
be-
auto succeed and a acrobatic stat.
That is true. That is true. I would like to roll and see if I could jump on the trash cans and then get to the fire escape.
Yeah, roll agile for me.
Sure. All right, that is a 7.
It's a partial success.
Okay.
So I will give you sort of the same choice that I gave Cressida. You can either make it and like cause a scene and like make yourself aware of, or you can like cut yourself on the way up and take a harm.
I am going to just be loud about it. Like, what's he gonna do? Jump up with me?
Yeah, you hop up onto a trash can and like use it as a kickstart post to hop up onto the fire escape and clamber up, and the trash cans like knock over in the back alley, and from inside the workshop, you guys just hear like the thunderous clattering of trash cans outside. And inside,
I'm gonna
watching him continue to carve these dolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually look to Miss Lazarus and say, maybe you should keep Gabriel safe.
No, I plan on it.
Maybe Gabriel shouldn't be alone.
No, I understand. Don't let him out of your sights as they walk out of the building.
Not a chance.
I think Miss Lazarus can probably just reach it.
Yeah, I'm tall.
She's got like 6 inches on Gabriel.
Good.
Okay. But yeah.
So as we climb up the escape, is there like can we try to like open the door or whatever goes to the
There's like windows
escape?
at each floor that you can crawl out of or into.
So I'm still. I take the X-Acto knife with me. Are like the windows locked?
Like not like locked. They just would require some jimmying probably. Like it's not
Okay.
a smooth slide, but you could probably eventually slide it open.
Okay, cool. If need be, I'm just gonna go.
Chink, chink, chink. You like cut into the side of it to get it to really open.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hop in a second floor window or a third floor, I guess, if you wanted to go up to the third floor. Up to you.
Let's do second floor first.
Yeah, let's do second floor.
You drop into a room that is mostly dark, aside from the light that's filtering in from the window, because it's like evening time, so it's not like super dark. But there's no lights on in here. There's no like apparent sign of lights at all. There are a lot of boxes and some sheet covered figures.
Joy.
Okay. I look back to my companion and say, "You think these are dolls too?"
What else would they be?
His associates, I say, questioningly.
Concernedly.
Bodies.
See, you're starting to learn about the type of people we deal with on these types of jobs.
So when we have these types of jobs, do we look at the figures and try to figure out what they look like and what he's doing, or do we go home and just quit?
Hmm. We figure out what's happening.
Okay, I say as I try to pull the sheet off of one of the figures as I'm like standing in front of one of them.
Roll thought for me as you do that, and also,
Yep.
Miss Lazarus, roll also.
Ooh.
8.
Oh. That's an 11.
Nice. So you, for a moment, Gabriel, you see, a person. For like a split second, you see a person smiling under the sheet, and then that sort of facade like melts back, and it's just an all wooden mannequin. Um, and you never see the person at all. You exclusively see the mannequin, Miss Lazarus. But when you pull the sheet off, it moves and sort of like rolls its shoulders, and you hear a creaking and a crunching as it sort of like settles into itself.
That's uncomfortable.
I turn back to Miss Lazarus and say, that was just a person. Just like the dolls I keep seeing. These dolls, they turn into people.
And after about a moment of like after a moment's silence, it repeats in your voice. These dolls, they turn into people.
Yes! Wow.
I would like to try and kick the mannequin.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and roll for
an active assault, I think is what the attack roll is.
Yes.
I wrote this game, I said. Forgetting all of the moves.
10.
Nice. I think that means it doesn't get. There's like you get like a bonus if you roll a success. Do you not?
You'll harm and they do not get to they do not get a reaction.
Yeah, don't get a reaction.
Yep. So you where are you kicking it? Go ahead and describe it for me.
I'm gonna go ahead, and the doll is sitting or standing?
Standing.
I'm gonna go and try to kick it at the hip joint.
Okay.
To see if maybe I can kick it with enough force that it kind of unkilters it and it falls over.
Yep. With a full success, you like ram your foot into the ball joint of its hip, and you hear a snapping, and the leg kind of goes off at a bad angle, and it falls to the floor, and like it's trying to like get itself back up, but it's not able to sort of put itself back on that leg, and it's like struggling to rise from the floor.
Nice. Can
Those are you hear those words coming in from next door.
Must have been that half bagel Gabriel had. Just all of them.
Cleared him out.
Okay, can I try to like kind of curb stomp the mannequin?
Yeah. I mean, you can beat the shit out of it if you want to.
Cool.
Kill the
Should I roll
doll.
again?
It's
Kill
essentially
the
prone
doll.
right now, so you could probably you don't have to roll. You can just kick it. It's prone right now.
Cool. I
You-
kick it with my full force.
Are you just gonna kick it until you can kick it apart? Essentially.
Yeah.
It takes a little while, but you can eventually, aiming for the joints, kind of like pull it apart, essentially. And you don't necessarily get it like totally separated into pieces, but you do get it into like a twitching, sort of like shambling, like mess on the floor. And like, it's like it keeps shifting, it keeps trying to shift human faces on, essentially, and get you to stop. But every time it talks, it's also it speaks in a different voice, and it's just a mimicry of a voice that it's heard. As it tries to beg you to stop kicking it.
Well, that's interesting. I say to Miss Lazarus.
Heard it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a baby.
It's a baby. Doll baby.
It's a baby haunted doll.
I am going. Are there any tools in here?
Not in here. This is very, like, distinctly a storage space.
Okay.
There are doll parts.
No.
You can grab an arm.
I was thinking more along the line of like a saw.
That would be back in the workshop. There are saws and things in the workshop.
Ah, fuck.
I wish we had telepathy right now.
Yeah,
know.
you'd think.
Someone needs to take an eye character next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those sweet, sweet eye characters who can just fucking blast knowledge into your brain at top speed.
Yeah.
Is
No,
Cressida
we're
just-
riding this.
Is Cressida just watching this dude carve a person into a doll?
Oh no, she has been waiting to be alone with him this
Oh, okay.
whole time.
Oh.
I will let y'all continue to explore the room. If you take any of the other sheets off the dolls, they are all the same. They are like doll people.
No, we are not.
No, we have learned our lesson.
They
Absolutely.
are sheets.
But is there anything else in the room? Yeah.
Not really.
No doors?
Huh?
No door?
There's a
No,
door to
nothing?
the landing. Like you can go out of this room to the landing where the stairs are.
Okay.
Okay.
And I kind of motion towards the door. Walking inside will be easier than walking outside.
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of follow, not really liking the idea of the fire escape, because I'm not tall enough to get down from it. So
But yeah, there's stairs up or stairs back down to the ground level.
Yeah, we go upstairs.
It's much
Next
the,
room.
It's much the same. There's a lot of storage. The only difference being that up here there seems to be more like gears and things, like presumably pieces for the music boxes. So like there's not as many dolls. It's mostly pieces for the music boxes up here.
Cool. Is there like more upstairs? No?
Ceiling.
Cool.
I turn to Miss Lazarus and say, I think we should try and go check on Cressida. It doesn't seem like there's really anything here, but lots of very creepy haunted dolls. And I'm pretty sure that guy is the one who's making them haunted.
No, you are for sure correct. We should give Cressida a moment so she can do her part of the work.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm thrilled to know what Cressida is doing alone in the room with the doll maker. I'm thrilled.
Oh, I got a new move I want to try out.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
So Cressida is like watching him work And she's like, I don't know. It seems a little boring.
You
I
kids,
don't.
you don't appreciate the old-fashioned work.
No, I understand the art. You are a true artist. And the craftsmanship, but making replicas of what exists, where's the imagination? Where's the flair?
I wouldn't call it a replica, not exactly.
A vessel putting people in the creepy dolls. I've seen it 100 times. It's not new. It's not. Well, it was exciting at first, but I'm over it.
Well,
I don't know. I just think that with your talents, you could be doing so much more.
oh, thank you, but I don't like to reinvent the wheel.
I have some ideas. Do you mind if I just talk a little bit?
Oh, well, sure, you can talk while I work. I will listen.
Yeah. So she starts explaining like her visions for these dolls, and she is describing geometry that cannot exist. Like she is describing like some MC Escher like non-Euclidean shit. And
big geometry.
like at first, like he's probably listening to it like, what the fuck is this girl on? But the more she describes it in this like passionate detail, it like you can picture this. And what's more, you know how to make it. Like you know it, everything she's saying makes perfect sense and clarity. And I would like to take that lovely auto success.
Yep.
Thank you, chat, and use it on my fancy new move, Induce Madness. You can tap into the spiral's destructive energies to drive a person mad.
Essentially, you watch as he's like carving the faces he normally would be carving it, and watching it appear on the other side. And then as he listens and sort of like begins to understand exactly what you're saying and like how you're like describing it, he stops carving this realistic looking face and instead starts carving in very abstract gestures and sort of like slashing across the face and like splitting it open in places and carving it in places where it wasn't supposed to, and it no longer looks like a person. It looks very abstract and like almost like they're carving like staircases and halls into the face as it appears. It looks kind of like a really fucked up Picasso MC Escher like mashup.
Now that is beautiful.
And he's like very singularly focused. Like you cannot get his attention away from this because you have convinced him that like his life's work needs to be made into this new project. And as that's happening, you sort of watch as the doll that he had been working on, as he like cuts this one that he's currently working on to pieces, like the doll features start to crack and crumble off, and underneath there are like slice like bruises and cuts across a face that is unconscious.
Oh my god, did we free her?
Gotta get her out of here, but
My complete fucking accident!
Yes.
Go, Cressida!
gotta break the doll. Like the thing is, you have to break the right doll to free her, and Cressida picked
Okay.
the one that he was working on, which is the right one. So yeah,
we didn't even get that. Wow. So she kind of stands and goes very like up close to him. I feel like she should be able to talk to him as
yeah. I mean, again, he's very focused on his new work.
yeah. I have a better vision for the world. I think you have a place in it. Having a little get together, and she kind of like gives you a time and a date. I hope you can come. Bring your friends. But I'm gonna take that one.
He like nods and waves you off as he continues to work.
Yeah, she's gonna pick up the statement giver.
Yep.
And leave the workshop.
Yep. She's not like ridiculously heavy, so
Yeah.
it's a person-sized person, so you can pick her up.
All right, so we all.
You probably run into.
Oh God!
On the way out down the stairs.
Yeah, probably.
I'm also just gonna like say, I also on my way out I open the cabinet that Andromeda is in and just say, "You're safe now. Come on," and lead her out with.
That's good.
Lead her out.
Good.
So we do take care of that.
So we make sure that Andromeda makes it out and doesn't wind up in this dude's art project.
Yeah. I like Andromeda. I'm not gonna feed you to the doll guy. So we're all back.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you meet up in the back alley. Cressida is carrying an unconscious woman, and the two
Look what I found!
Just kick the doll to pieces.
I guess we found your missing person. That's good.
10 points to Cressida.
I look at her incredulously. How did you get her? How did you do that?
It's probably best you don't ask.
Just had a little bit of a business conversation, and he let me take her away.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
He's going to be taking his business in a new direction.
Good.
Good. We found mannequins. They're creepy here. I don't like it.
We should probably take this one to a hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Go get in the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get her to a hospital and then get yourselves back to the institute to a very excited Carter who's glad that none of you died. It's nice to not have to hire new people again.
Yeah.
Well, we did better than not die.
Her around to actually take care of the case and me around to make sure nobody dies. It's very hard for people to die.
Well, I'm sure Miss Abdul will be very happy that you saved her.
Yes.
Perhaps we get a thank you card for once.
That would be so sweet.
I could send her a basket in the hospital or something.
I look at Carter in his eyes, and while I'm staring him in the eyes, I take off his shoes and give them back to him and just say, "Thank you. Thank you for your service."
You're well. Do you not need them to get home?
Honestly, I've walked in worse.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm glad they served you well.
If you need a ride, just ask.
I will just take the bus.
I'm done riding in this car. I hate this fucking family.
The bus.
I'll take a ride.
Didn't you drive into work?
Oh, yeah. I just love spending time with you.
All right.
She kind of
fine. Where do you want to go?
She gives you an address.
I'll see you both later. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Carter. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Maybe I'll go home.
Maybe. If not,
you won't.
There's bagels and cream cheese I left in the fridge in case you need it.
Thank you. And
You're
you
welcome.
See that they're like really legitimately excited by this prospect.
First time he's eaten in days.
Bagels.
You gotta get this boy an Eats Pass.
they haven't eaten in quite some. No, they eat. They eat semi regularly. But yeah, yeah, you all get to go safely and happily home.
What is this address?
She
I
like
mean,
426
technically she
Main
has-
Spooky Street.
Yeah, like technically she has to have a physical place that she lives. Like you input the address in your GPS and it just like doesn't. The GPS is confused and she's like, "I'll just direct you."
Okay.
And every single turn she has you take is a left turn, but somehow you get home.
Oof.
And it's just like a totally normal looking like apartment complex, but it is in a neighborhood that shouldn't exist because you've been going in circles for like 45 minutes.
In contrast, it takes Cressida 2 minutes to get to work.
Yeah.
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 That's
Thanks for
very
the
good.
ride.
You're welcome.
And now
Ever
Cressida has
giving
a
you a
new
ride
video
again?
editor.
Now Cresta has what?
A new video editor.
Yeah, she has a new friend. And she has a new work colleague. CressidaCon is gonna be lit.
I will also let you know that you can. I have a piece of paper for if someone does choose to like keep the box. Possessing this artifact improves your chances of success for a ritual of the stranger. Willful use of this object to gather victims drains your humanity.
Well, can I make it help me with a ritual for the
You-
spiral? Because we're buds
you
now.
You could probably fuck it up until it was a spiral artifact.
We're buds now. It's cool. We're friends.
You could
Wonderful.
you could fear soup it up a little bit, I think.
Fear soup.
Alrighty.
But yeah. Alright, sorry we're 40 minutes over the time we were supposed to. Mostly I'm sorry to Birdie who has to do homework.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll just
fine.
not sleep tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for helping us raise $111 for the Equal Justice Initiative. I'm really excited
Woo.
and happy. I'm leaving the donation box open through Halloween, so anyone who couldn't make it to the stream can still donate and like get themselves in for potential prizes. There are dice sets and art commissions up for grabs, as well as I've unlocked a couple of our stretch goal prizes. I think one of which is a handmade dice bag that I'll make. Things like that.
Ooh.
And every donation gets you a ticket, and everything more than 5 and in increments of 5 gets you more than like that many tickets essentially. But yeah, so I will leave that open through Halloween for anyone who didn't get to donate during stream, and it means like so much to me that you all came and donated and things, and also that you all played in my stream, because I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So thank you so much. I have been your game master, your narrator, as is in my system. I wrote this system, and you can find it on my itch for free because it's based on TMA. And you can find me at Ilana Knight 13 on Twitter. And mostly I do tabletop stuff and art. You can also find me DMing this same system, but a long-form campaign every other Thursday on Heroes Without Limits.
I play in that.
Yeah, Birdie, why don't you
Ooh.
go next because you're in that.
Hi, I'm Birdie. I use she or they pronouns. Tonight I was playing the TikTok sensation Cressida Crane. Uses she, her pronouns. On Haven of Horrors, I play the much more subdued Maria Kemp. So if you want to see me acting not like a lunatic, then come check out Haven of Horrors. We are every other Thursday with Heroes Without Limits.
KJ, why don't you go next? Oh, did I die?
KJ?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I couldn't hear for a second. Oh, my name's KJ. It's been super, super fun playing with you guys. I really liked the setup. I liked the horror. It was actually really, really awesome. I'm super excited that we raised so much money for a really good cause. Yeah. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah. Devin.
I'm Devin. I played Lilith Bot Lazarus, or just Miss Lazarus. That was a lot of fun. That was fun. I'm glad that we raised a bunch of money. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for playing. And I'd also like to say thank you to Alex, whose Google Meets and internet crashed out partway through there. So I'll reach out to them and thank them more personally later. But yeah, thank all of you for coming. It means a lot to me, and I'm really happy that you were all here and got to experience all the technical difficulties. Speaking of, I would like to thank Liquid Rena, Percy, who is hosting us on their channel, and also who built the overlay that we've used and has come to fix all of my tech problems every time I cried about them.
Yay.
So give him a follow
The-
here on Twitch or on Twitter as Liquid Rena. She's really great, and they make edits and they play games here on Twitch. So I was really happy to get to use their channel because I don't use mine for anything.
They're the real heroes of the story.
They really
Yeah.
are.
Truly.
I would not be able to get this without them. But yeah, so thank you so much and good night, everyone. I'm so glad that you were here.
Woo!